Has heard a bit about the merits of the order. They first considered at length whether lower court judges can issue nationwide injunctions. In other words, stop something from taking effect, as was done here, while the issues play out in court. And justices, including Elena Kagan, were concerned about the way some district courts have acted.
Because of the forum selection process, a party goes to one place. You know, in the first Trump administration, it was all done in San Francisco. And then in the next administration, it was all done in Texas. Right. And there is a big problem that is created by that mechanism.
Some of the justices, including Kagan, grew frustrated with the U.S. Solicitor General John Sauer's argument that if people want a broad decision, they should seek class action status. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
The president wants to end automatic citizenship for U.S.-born babies whose parents are illegal immigrants. A brief hearing in federal court in Wisconsin, where Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan pleads not guilty to 2 counts, including obstruction, accused of helping a criminal suspect who's in the U.S. illegally evade ICE agents outside her courtroom.
Her defense team is arguing this case should be dropped altogether because they claim she has judicial immunity for her official acts, which they argue includes removing anyone from her courtroom who could disrupt it. And while they cite the Supreme Court's ruling last year in the presidential immunity case against then former President Trump, legal experts question how far those immunity claims can actually go.
Fox's Garrett Tenney in Milwaukee. President Trump on the final planned stop of his Mideast trip, the United Arab Emirates.
But probably going back to Washington, D.C. tomorrow.
He had floated a stop in Turkey for Ukraine peace talks, but now says he doesn't think movement will happen until he meets with Russia's president, who didn't show, for direct talks with Ukraine's leader. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm still going.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
An apology for a video that may be unnecessary. Nothing doing as far as rain or thunderstorm activity at the moment, but we are keeping an eye on it because of the threat for severe weather. That's mostly this evening and overnight, and then Friday, too. Right now, it's 82 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 3:02. The Indianapolis Colts are apologizing for a video they posted Wednesday night. John Herrick explains why.
The Colts open this upcoming regular season against the Miami Dolphins September 7th. For their schedule release video, they went with a Minecraft theme and took some playful jabs at their opponents. And that video showed Hill as a dolphin swimming in the water, only to be stopped by the Coast Guard, who was using a siren. Hill was arrested in a traffic stop last year. The Colts said the video was insensitive, but Hill said the Colts should have left the video up because he thought it was funny.
A man who sold access to child pornography, 23-year-old Melvin Anderson, gets 17 years in the federal pen for advertising and selling access to child porn on Twitter, charging people $10 to $25 for abuse videos and images contained in cloud-based folders. The leader of the Hells Angels in Marshall County busted in a drug raid where cops say they found items related to dealing meth. 46-year-old Norman Tackett of Bourbon charged with dealing and possession of meth and common nuisance. The milk for the winner on race day.
It's always an Indiana dairy farmer, and we're representing 700 dairy farm families across the state of Indiana.
Abby Herb, the veteran milk presenter this year, talking to Wish TV.
I'm the 4th generation, raising the 5th generation. I have 2 little girls, well, not little anymore, but yeah. I have 2 daughters, so it's super exciting. This is going to be their first race.
She says the winner gets to choose from whole, 2%, or skim milk to drink. That tradition goes back to 1936. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a D-SNP, may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A D-SNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials, too. With a Humana D-SNP, you get $225 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. Here's Matt Bear.
Yes. All right, Chris, inbound 65 slow, 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slows Harding into Meridian, Illinois. And in the Boone, northbound 65 stop-and-go traffic from State Road 47 for about 3 miles. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Secure low prices on brands like GE Profile, Cafe, and more during the locked-in pricing sale at Grand Appliance. Visit grandappliance.com or your local Grand today. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Warm and humid today with partly cloudy skies. We'll get up to 88 degrees. The record today is 88. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight. Some could be on the stronger side. I'm Wish TV Storm Tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! Hey, now. It's the Hammer and Nigel show. I'm Jason Hammer. Jeff Boggs is here, filling in for Big Nige, who's still on vacation. And oh, by the way, if you want to see a picture, actually a video of how Nigel's vacation is going, go to our Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram right now. Just go to Hammer and Nigel, and you will get an update from baby Nigel telling you how his all-inclusive vacation down to St. Thomas is going.
Yeah, I texted Nigel yesterday during the show, and I said, could you send us a vacation picture? We had a lot of fun with that last time Nigel was on vacation. So he sent me a nice little picture of him on their deck. He goes, I don't even know where my wife is, but I'm enjoying some Mai Tais or something. I didn't respond on purpose. I'm ghosting him.
Right.
And he keeps sending me more messages up until 10 o'clock last night. What are you doing with the picture? Seriously, what's going on with the picture? So I'm going to keep ghosting him at least until tomorrow.
Please do. And do us a favor and retweet or share the video of baby Nigel, who may or may not be drunk, giving us an update on his vacation. You can find that at Hammer and Nigel, Facebook, Twitter, or the Instagram story. Now, Jeff, we do have some serious things to kind of keep our eye on here. Could be a little dicey tonight in terms of the weather. Because it's so warm and because it's humid, there's a couple different pressure systems that could create, as the kids call it, action later on the night.
Yeah, as someone who took a meteorology class at IU, I can tell you what's happening. It's called an occluded front. We have a warm front and a cold front coming together, and it's causing that friction. It's making it very soupy. So hopefully later we'll have another professional come on, let us know what we can expect tonight. Hopefully no tornadoes. It looks like it's moving north a little bit, but we'll find out hour by hour what's going on.
Our pal Marcus Bailey from Wish TV 8 will join us here in studio in just a little bit. Now, this next update got some adult content to it, okay? This isn't a bit. I'm not setting something up. This isn't fun facts for kids where there's a payoff here. This is actually a pretty gross story, but the content is pretty sensitive here. So earmuffs if you want. So remember the Martinsville substitute teacher who was having just a series of kids come to her house to do grown-up stuff on her. And it was pretty graphic. I mean, she had a number of underage lovers. At one point, per the police report, she was making these kids wear masks from the movie Scream while they all took turns doing their thing on this woman. This was a big story. Well, now, Brittany Fortenberry, who's facing like 30 charges for alleged sexual misconduct with boys as young as 13 in Morgan County, her lawyers are filing a notice claiming that she has a mental illness. Ugh. Now, originally, her story was she felt good about herself because she lost all this weight and she dropped so much weight and she felt sexy. So she started allegedly having sex with kids and students. And it was a lot of them. And it was weird stuff. Drugs were involved. Like I said, masks from movies were involved. Now, Jeff, the story is changing. Her defense team on May 7th filed a motion saying they're going for like a mental illness claim.
You know, it's interesting how society looks differently at when it's a female teacher and a male teacher. You know, this is obviously a very serious type of thing. But a couple of years ago, SNL did a comedy bit about Pete Davidson was an underage student who was sexually molested by a teacher. And, it was on SNL and they were laughing about it. Nothing to laugh about here. This seems incredibly serious. And, of course, she has some mental problems. But yet again, it doesn't keep you from the consequences of what you did.
According to some court documents, one of the victims, a middle school boy, accused Brittany Fortenberry of drugging him repeatedly and having sex with him when he was 13. He said Brittany would then have him bring his friends over to the house where she would give all of them drugs and have sex with them. She's now saying, well, her legal team, I should say, is now saying it's a mental illness. It originally went from weight loss medication, feeling good about myself, made a mistake, to I must be mentally ill.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe somebody who's on social media a lot and whose worth is dictated by social media. I would love to see if that played any factor into this.
We have another update, and this is a more fun, uplifting story. Yesterday, Jeff, you shared a message you received from somebody who said they love you on our program, they listen when you come on. They wanted some help in writing a graduation speech.
That's right. A lovely woman named Jean Morehouse asked if you and I could come up with some suggestions for her daughter. She's a valedictorian, and she's giving a speech this weekend. The high school is Harrison High School in West Lafayette. So yesterday, you gave a great speech, a very original speech. I gave more of a serious speech that there's still some conversations whether I stole that from a movie or not.
There are some copyright issues that our lawyers are dealing with.
There were, but if that did happen, it was not on purpose. It just the words just matched up.
Great minds think alike.
Exactly. You and I put a lot of time into it, and we did it for Jean Morehouse, and I was really excited, and I expected. Thank you so much. This is incredible. I'm so happy you made my daughter's graduation. Got a message this morning. Got a message from Jean Morehouse.
Okay.
I'm going to paraphrase. Just got to listen to the show yesterday. I'll share some of those suggestions. But do you have any more ideas? Can you shorten it up a little? Maybe something a little punchier. So we got notes.
Now, hold on. They said 90 seconds. We gave them 90 seconds, and now they want it shorter?
As somebody who's pitched a lot of jokes before in TV shows, that is when the boss goes, maybe. And so we're being asked if we can come back with a new pass that is up to their standard. So I thought maybe tomorrow, you and I get to work on it tonight. Maybe tomorrow we'll really try to nail it for Jean Morehouse and her daughter, who's a valedictorian of Harrison High School in West Lafayette.
I have very mixed feelings about this. Now, I get that you're gung-ho and you want to help this individual, and you've gone through this process as a writer before. I, on the other hand, am thinking this as I dedicated a full segment to the #1 rated show basically in the Midwest, an afternoon drive, to help you out. And you want another one?
Well, and you spent time writing it. Yours was original. You took some liberties, but yours was original. I'm sure you took about half an hour, maybe jotted some stuff down. So I don't know how much that's worth. But again, Jean says thank you.
Okay.
It was good, but they're looking for great.
Okay. We will reconvene tomorrow.
Okay.
And this is the last dance. This is the last one.
Well, the graduation's Saturday, so yeah.
Okay. So I will do 30 seconds.
Okay.
And you can keep yours at whatever length you want. If you want it to be 5 seconds, 59 seconds, whatever you want. You do you. I'm going to make mine 30 seconds.
Okay.
If you need a reason to drink tonight, George Brett, baseball legend, is 72 years old. Do yourself a favor and go to YouTube when you have time and type in George Brett poops his pants. He's got an amazing story about an amazing meal that he could not hold down.
Yeah, he also is famous for, he had horrible hemorrhoids throughout his entire career. You may remember that one terrible incident where he mixed up his pine tar with his preparation H, and they had to chisel him off the bench. It was a terrible thing. But
at Yankee Stadium, I believe.
At Yankee Stadium. And he also had one of the biggest blow-ups in sports history when they nixed his home run. Billy Martin,
yes.
The bat had too much pine tar. It's incredible.
So George Brett, 72, and also on this date back in 1940, and I'm so happy you're here for this, Jeff, McDonald's opened up. The first McDonald's opened up in 1940.
San Bernardino, California. McDonald's, other than family, That's the longest relationship of my life. And it's a serious relationship.
It's still hot and heavy today.
I just got the $5 bag 2 hours ago. So, it's a big day. I'm shocked that kids are in school and banks are open.
McDonald's opening up on this date back in 1940, which brings us to great moments in McDonald's history. This is when Donald Trump mentioned McDonald's when he was ranting about the paper straws trying to take over the plastic straws. And honestly, it sounded like a bit from Seinfeld.
They want to ban straws. Has anybody ever tried those paper straws? They're not working too good, right? They want to ban straws. I said, well, I've had a couple of meals at McDonald's, etc. over the years, right? Wendy's, friend of mine owns Wendy's. I'll give it a plug, right? Burger King. So they want to ban straws. I said, oh, really? What about the carton? What about the plate? What about the knives and the spoons that are plastic? Oh, they're okay. But the straws we got to ban.
Great moments in McDonald's history. Matt Bear, you wearing shorts today?
Oh, yeah. They're gray.
Are they short? Are they so short that, like, even Magnum P.I. would go, damn?
I could play on the 1980s Detroit Pistons right now.
Wow.
I really think I could. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm rocking them, man. I'm ready for the 500. Inbound 65, stop and go 29th to Meridian Penn, a 4-minute delay. Northbound 65 slows Raymond up to the south street. South split, that is. Slow because of road construction in eastbound 70 from Harding over to the South Split. Traffic sponsored by ExpressPros.com. If you're ready for a new job, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Express is already hiring for summer jobs in a variety of industries. Visit ExpressPros.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Even John Stockton's like, dude, those are really short.
I saw him.
Really short.
Too short.
Keeping our eye on the weather, could have some severe storms tonight. Marcus Bailey will join us coming up a little bit after 4 o'clock. But up next, there's a guy that was on that new game show hosted by Greg Gutfeld where they are isolated for 3 months and then they have to answer questions based on the news cycle. It's on Fox Nation, and one of the contestants was a guy from Indiana. We'll talk to him next.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
The month of May is here, so start your search engines and go to IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim your money today. You have cash waiting for you at IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Right now, the Attorney General's office is reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every single week. This isn't a boat or a car or contents of a storage locker. This is your money, your cash that's actually waiting for you. It could have been a deposit that you forgot you were supposed to get back, or a dividend from a stock. It could have been an insurance claim. There are a whole series of reasons why you have money waiting for you. Well, the Attorney General has those dollars, and you can search it up fast, easy, and free at IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Victory Lane is just one claim away at IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Search for yourself, your family, and your business this May. Text my name, Tony, to 46220 or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Now go get your cash.
Hammer and Nigel here for Bill Demery, your retirement guy here in Indy. And listen, it all comes down to timing. Timing is important. And honestly, the more time you waste, the more money it could cost you. Make sure you get every penny that's rightfully yours in retirement with a free Social Security analysis from our guy, Bill Demery. Bill Demery, my retirement guy, also Nigel's retirement guy, wants to work with you too. So if you've saved more than $200,000, but you've not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now. It's free. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. This free analysis could help you get hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional lifetime income. But you have to act right now. Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 648-5120.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Miss M's annual open house is Saturday. Save 20% off everything in stock, excluding labor. Saturday only. Miss M's on State Road 135, south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I think this is pretty wild. There's a new game show on Fox Nation. That's the streaming outlet of Fox News. And it's hosted by Greg Gutfeld, called What Did I Miss? Now, the premise of this show, and Jeff, you've worked in television. Tell me if this is a fun concept or not here. From January 20th through April 13th of this year, 4 contestants were in complete isolation at a house in upstate New York. No contact to the outside world. No phones, no internet, no social media, no TV. So from Trump's inauguration until April 13th, they had no idea what was going on. And in the game show, Greg Gutfeld asked them questions about the current news cycle.
It's genius. The first time I heard this was a couple weeks ago, and it sounds like the kind of shows that were pitched 15 years ago, you know, those crazy concepts. And this one grabbed me right away. Like, I cannot wait to talk to this gentleman and to watch the show.
One of the guys that was in complete isolation is a guy from Newcastle, a Hoosier, Mike Brown. Mike, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel Show. How you doing, Mike?
I am doing pretty good, guys. How about you?
Man, we're great. Now, tell me what it was like. Take us through the process of being in complete isolation. Like, do they confiscate your phones? How do they do that? How do they make sure everybody is, unaware of anything going on?
Yes, they do take your phones. It was quite the interesting process as far as when it came to check-in, and they took us to the house, took us to the site on the 20th. Absolutely no electronics, like even our toiletry bags with our little, electronic razors and trimmers in it. Like, they went through everything. We couldn't take our suitcases in. They unloaded everything right there on the table in the snow, put them in their suitcases. They took our stuff inside. Like, there was absolutely no way to get or sneak anything in. And then, like, even the TVs, the house we stayed at had televisions in it, but they got rid of them because they had smart capabilities, the smart TVs. So they had to special order, like, what we call dumb TVs. Like, they couldn't be any type of internet access on it. So everyone was tight-lipped. The PAs that were there that, watched over us, they watched everything they said. We couldn't even go outside the house unless we rang a doorbell that was on the inside, so they could come and get us and we could go outside and walk. One of the guys brought 700 cigars.
I was going to ask about tobacco.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So yeah, it was very. I was surprised at how tight they kept everything. Like we literally knew nothing.
So did you have a contestant coordinator who was assigned to the whole group, or did you have individual contestant coordinators?
So, let me think about how. I think it's okay for me to word it the way that I'm going to. So the premise of the show, the creators of the show, is a husband and wife team, and she was the one that coordinated getting the contestants. So all of us dealt with the same person, the same lady, who did all the casting. And so it was the guy who had the idea and started the idea 2 years ago. It was his wife, and they worked together at producing a lot of these shows. Like they were the main people who came up with Jersey Shore. If you remember that shore?
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's 465 Productions or something. Sally and Sestrano. Yep.
So they were the creators and huge part in the production of all that. So we all dealt with the same person, and the PAs that came in, we all dealt with them together, so there was no separation.
Mike, did you get along with everybody? I'm sure you guys had a lot of downtime, conversations start happening. Was there any moment where things got a little tense, inside the house or things like that?
Yeah, so originally there were 5 of us in the house, and I was the second oldest, and 4 of us got along. There was one who was very contentious, let's say. And
right.
There was about a 7 to 10 day stretch where it got kind of bad, and eventually legal stepped in and made the one lady leave, and that left us with the 4.
Wow. So now you, being from Indiana, are you a Pacers fan? Are you a
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you didn't get to watch the Pacers go on a great run, to get to this point, did you?
No, I didn't, and that was one of the hard things. Not just because it was the Pacers, but my son turned 16 while I was gone.
Wow!
And for the past couple years, that's been our thing. Is on his birthday, him and I go and we try to get good seats, and we, watch a game on his birthday. So I didn't get to do that. But my best friend stepped up for me while I was gone, and he did that. And as soon as I was reconnected with my family, my son's he knows all the stats, and he's a big Hallie fan. So
well, good.
2 minutes after our hug, he's like, "Dad, look at this shot by Halliburton."
We're speaking with Mike Brown. He was a contestant on the Fox Nation game show hosted by Greg Gutfeld, What Did I Miss?, where these people who were isolated from the inauguration up until April 13th have to answer questions. And Greg makes up some questions, and these contestants have to figure out if it's a real headline or something that he's made up. Did you have a lot of interactions with Greg, Mike?
Actually, yes. So they're on the actual show because we were in studio for about 12 hours filming 3 episodes. So got to interact with him a lot there. And then there were 3 days of filming where they came in about halfway and filmed some stuff in the house. And we got to interact with him there as well.
Where'd you guys, did you shoot this in New York?
Yes, upstate New York.
Oh, okay. Are you allowed to say where?
I could, but I don't exactly know where.
Okay, it was covered in snow. I understand.
Yeah.
Right.
It was covered in snow, and approximately 2 hours away from New York City.
Okay, I got to tell you something, a little inside. You have no clue how much effort goes into writing game show questions. The level of legal that has to get involved, even if it seems like Greg's just off the cuff, every single question is broken down and tested to make sure there aren't multiple answers. So I'm sure the questions were, tough to answer, but at least they were definitely direct, right?
Yes, they were direct because have you watched it yet?
I have not.
Okay, so the premise part of the game show is we had to guess if the news that he was telling us was true or if it was false. So it was basically, we just had, that type of answer, but the questions were just so far out there.
Right.
Like, it was not as easy as I thought it was going to be.
Were you shocked though when you found out that it's like, oh, this really happened while you were in isolation? Were you shocked by some of the things you heard?
What was the most shocking thing you discovered after you got out, Mike?
So, couple things. I'm a big sports guy, so as I don't know how some people would take this, but I was shocked that Luka got traded. That was crazy.
Right. Okay.
That was crazy. But the $1 trillion stock market crash, that was very surprising to me. What else was there that sticks out? Katy Perry going to space.
Awesome.
That kind of, I'm like, come on.
And I could see that being a question that could trick a lot of people. True or false? Katy Perry went to space, right? I mean, that's real. Mike Brown is a contestant on the Fox Nation game show, Greg Gutfeld's What Did I Miss? Mike, are your episodes still airing?
Well, there are only 3, and they're still up to where you can see them. So they're on the Fox network to be streamed, Fox Nation. So they're all 3 still on there. So you can go on there and catch them and take a look at them and enjoy it. And I'm sure, sounds like there'll be another season or 2 after. And with the popularity of the show, I'm sure to be a little bit more the next time.
And, again, I don't want to spoil anything for those who haven't watched it, so heads up. But all of the episodes are available right now. So can you talk about who won, Mike?
Oh, yes, I can. Yeah.
Who won, Mike?
That would be me.
Yeah! Boom, baby! Boom, baby! The wins keep coming for Indiana. How about that?
Yeah. Yes.
$50,000 prize. Is that right?
Well, not exactly.
Okay.
It just keeps getting bigger, doesn't it? We could win up to $50,000.
Oh, that up to. Okay, I got you. I used to work in the casino industry. That up to is a really big part of a contest.
And also, you only win if the show airs. I'm sure you saw that in your contract too.
Yes, absolutely. And even if I would have slipped and said I was the winner beforehand, they don't have to pay you.
Yep, right.
You have to make sure you read everything. And that was an interesting part of the show because you build the money together per episode. And at the end of each episode, there's a game where someone loses and gets kicked off the show. So you have to, while being in the house, learn to get along and work together, or the money doesn't get built at the actual game show.
Well, Mike, congratulations, man. It sounds like an experience of a lifetime. And for those who have not seen it yet, check out Fox Nation. It's the streaming service that Fox provides. Greg Gutfeld's What Did I Miss? My man Mike representing Indiana, going home with the dub. Mike, congratulations, man. Thank you so much.
Way to go, Mike.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Matt Bear here for Trajan Wealth. We're getting closer to the weekend. Feels like a miracle, right? Ease into that weekend. Have a little peace of mind knowing your money is being managed by people you can trust. A fiduciary that has Hoosier values at its core. That's Trajan Wealth. Trajan Wealth believes in pragmatism when managing money, using low-cost investment strategies with loyalty and hard work at their foundation. Call and schedule your first appointment. It's free. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. The investment experts at Trajan want to work with you, want to join your team, and customize a portfolio to your visions of the future at your retirement hopes and dreams. Call today. Learn more about these strategies at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
Wondering when to plant grass seed for ideal results? Wondering who has the best lawn products? Well, now is the time, and great lawn starts with Jonathan Green products. Hey, Pat Sullivan here from Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. And like Sullivan Hardware and Garden, Jonathan Green is a family-owned and operated business. Jonathan Green has only premium quality Black Beauty grass seed, soil foods, and fertilizers to ensure that you achieve noticeably better results on your lawn. By making your work easier and delivering an impressive lawn, Jonathan Green products will turn your lawn into a green space to be enjoyed with family and friends. Black Beauty seed mixtures are sold at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Improve your lawn with Jonathan Green. Shop, play, experience. Spring with Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's the work environment and conditions. Right now, radar is showing all clear, although you do have clouds on Monument Circle and a temperature of 82. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. Medication mishaps, staffing problems, and citations. John Herrick reports on what a former CVS employee in Indianapolis is saying.
It's the worst place you could ever work.
Katie Forbes used to work at the CVS store at 16th Street and North Meridian Street, and she tells Wish TV.
The purposeful understaffing. They keep perpetuating this narrative of, like, there's a staffing issue, there's a pharmacist shortage, there's, like, technician. There's no shortage. There's no shortage at all.
This CVS store was cited by the Indiana Board of Pharmacy for expired medications, loose pills, and dirty shelves. The store, however, was not cited by the board for its staffing levels. CVS says they are committed to providing the appropriate staffing and resources to everyone who works for them, as well as their customers.
Federal court for the Milwaukee judge accused of aiding an illegal immigrant.
Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan pleading not guilty to 2 criminal counts claiming judicial immunity, that she can't be prosecuted for actions taken as a judge. She was arrested last month and a federal grand jury has indicted her for allegedly helping an illegal immigrant inside her courtroom on a battery case avoid immigration agents by sneaking him out through a private exit. Meantime, outside federal courts in Milwaukee, dozens of Dugan supporters.
You don't handcuff her and humiliate her. That's not the America that I know.
The federal judge overseeing Dugan's case moving it forward, setting a trial date for late July. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
The Supreme Court heard arguments today on President Trump's executive order seeking to deny birthright citizenship to children born in the U.S. to undocumented parents. New Jersey Attorney General Matt Plotkin, representing nearly 20 Democrat-led states challenging the order, said the case against it is straightforward.
It's about whether the rule of law and the constraints on the executive, and as Justice Jackson said, whether the president can act like a king. The answer I think the court is going to say is no, he cannot.
The Supreme Court could have a ruling on the case by the end of June. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. That's 800-917-8730.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. Here's Matt Bear.
You got it, Chris. Looking at inbound 65, delayed 6 minutes, MLK to Meridian Penn. Inbound 69, stop and go 96th Street, 282nd. We have a stall, northeast side, northbound 465 at I-69. It's on the ramp to I-69, northbound 69, not Binford. And the ramp is open. It is partially blocked. Stop and go traffic back to East 56th Street. Eastbound 465 slow in Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road, and northbound 465 slows on the northwest side from 86th Street up to 865. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
A slight 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather is in place from 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. tonight. That is if storms can fire off, and if so, all hazards will be possible. But Friday's severe risk is higher. There is a level 3 to 5 enhanced risk across central Indiana with a level 4 to 5 moderate risk across southwestern and southern Indiana. All hazards are once again possible with potential for multiple storm clusters. Some significant severe weather is also possible as well Friday afternoon and night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
NFL schedule was released last night. We already knew one game for the Colts. They're going to Berlin to take on the Atlanta Falcons. I said earlier, I think the halftime show should be the band Berlin performing all of their hits, like Take My Breath Away and Take My Breath Away.
Sure.
And closing with Take My Breath Away.
You think the crowd would go crazy for that?
The third time for sure.
Okay.
For sure. But the schedule for the Colts opens up at home this year against the Miami Dolphins. Now, it's become kind of a trend that all the NFL teams have this wacky kind of schedule release on their social media. They have like a funny 3-minute video. Sometimes it's man on the street stuff. Sometimes it's celebrities. And the Colts decided to do like a Minecraft parody. Microsoft's game, Minecraft, which ask your kids about it. So they decided to do something with that. And with the fact they're playing the Dolphins in week 1, they had a scene where there was a Dolphins player, Tyreek Hill, and he's swimming in the ocean. And then here comes the police on a boat to arrest him. Now, this is funny because Tyreek Hill has been arrested before in high-profile ways. Well, for some reason, Jeff, the Colts got a conscience and deleted that video. They said they did not have permission from Microsoft to do the parody of Minecraft. But more importantly, they apologized to Tyreek Hill for it.
Yeah, and Tyreek Hill came on Twitter and said, why? It's hilarious.
Right.
So whoever made the decision, this is the biggest problem with, not conservatives, but that people do sometimes. They apologize. You don't have to apologize. It's very funny. Now, I would understand if this was, something with Aaron Hernandez and the Patriots.
Right.
Or a Baltimore Ravens, Ray Lewis, killing somebody. But this is Tyreek getting arrested. It happens quite a bit, and even he thought it was funny. My bigger problem with it is San Diego also did a Minecraft schedule release. So it's a little, or the Chargers.
Los Angeles Chargers now.
Can't say San Diego. But it makes no sense. It was funny. It never would have even made news, except for they apologized and took it down 1 hour after posting it.
And again, I hate the fact that the Chargers did the exact same thing. So that tells me it's been kind of shopped around. That concept was floated around.
Yeah, you're showing up to the Halloween party. You're the guy who's, got the Siegfried costume with the tiger attacking you. Right. And then there's another dude with the same costume. And it's like, oh, that's not too funny, I guess.
What was the cheerleading movie? Bring It On?
Yeah.
Where at one point they all hired the same contractor and they all did spirit fingers.
Yes.
And that's kind of how this plays out, I feel like. But don't apologize. If, Tyreek Hill doesn't want people making fun of him for being arrested, which he doesn't, but if he doesn't want that, then don't get arrested.
Can I tell a little personal story here? I applied. The Colts were looking for a creative video producer a couple months ago. And I was like, oh, you know what? I did do a season of Monday Night Football producing creative videos. Maybe I'll try for that. Never heard back. Got a email last week. It said, unfortunately, we don't think you were qualified for the position. Thank you for applying. So I had a great idea for the schedule release that I'm not going to share right now, but a great idea. And I thought, what a good way to integrate myself back into the Indianapolis market.
Give us a little teaser.
Nope,
Give us something.
I can't, but it involves a celebrity, but it would have been great. Listen, don't apologize. I watched it. It was good. It was good. My biggest problem, again, somebody else did the same thing.
Right. The Tennessee Titans do this better than any other franchise.
They do.
A couple years ago, they just went out to Broadway and talked to random people walking up and down the street. They showed them an NFL logo and said, "Who is this team?" And it was hilarious, the answers they got. And this past year, the Titans schedule release sounded like an ED commercial where the side effects were the teams on their schedule. Like when the Browns came up, diarrhea.
Right. It's genius. And listen, content is king right now. That you can't have enough content for a professional sports team. So getting people involved in these things who can pull it off in a big way. You see how viral it went. I think it was on every late night talk show and news stations, Fox, CNN. So it's really important that the professional teams in your area get pros who can pull this off, because that's marketing right there.
Tyreek Hill's agent is super agent Drew Rosenhaus, the inspiration for Bob Sugar in the movie Jerry Maguire. Even he came out and said, "Why? Didn't see why they deleted it. Tyreek thought it was hilarious. We thought it was funny."
Yeah,
so
it was a fail.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Man, I love the way my brand new Galaxy concrete garage floor looks. Those guys did an amazing job. They were in and out within a day. My old garage floor was dirty and gross and cracked, and their amazing staff came in and within a day made it look brand new. It's not epoxy, by the way. It's better and 4 times stronger. I spend a ton of time out in my garage, and my new Galaxy concrete garage floor is out of this world. Check out their website and see pictures and get a quote, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or call their office at 317-751-9070.
Hammer and Nigel here for our friends at Diamonds Direct. And this Saturday, it is on like Donkey Kong. Simon G., world-famous designer, is going to be there. So if you want to take a look at one of the best in the world and what he's bringing to Indy, a massive selection, get up to Keystone at the Crossing, right there by the Green Bridge, and walk into Diamonds Direct. Beautiful showroom. My man Neve, he's the manager. Chris works in sales. She's a rock star. And whether you're buying a graduation gift, maybe you're buying that engagement gift, whatever it is, check it out this weekend. Experience one of the best in the world, Simon G. Diamonds Direct this weekend.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market. Even in winter, we're bringing you the best in farm fresh flavors. Stop in for our fresh salad bar, hot and crispy wing bar, and a cheese selection that is second to none. Got a sweet tooth? Our homemade pies, creamy fudge, and old-fashioned candy will hit the spot. Come see us on US 31 just north of Carmel. We're open every day 9 to 6. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about fresh, local, and delicious. See you soon.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hi, this is Malia with Family Heating and Air, and as a mom myself, I know it's really important to keep the kiddos healthy. Air quality, humidity, those are super big issues on my concern list. If you share any of these concerns, give family a call, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Race into Pierce Jewelers in Carmel and make a pit stop to purchase that unique diamond engagement ring that will put you in the winner's circle. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more.
Tired of digging through noise to find real news? Go straight to WIBC.com. Local stories, statewide impact, national headlines, info that matters. When news breaks, WIBC.com is already on it. Stay on the know while you're on the go.
All right, Matt Bear, what's going on with the roads?
What's happening here? We're looking at inbound 65 stop-and-go traffic from MLK to Meridian Penn, and that's a 7-minute delay. Eastbound 70 delayed 4 minutes from Harding Street into the South Split. We see a stall northbound 465 at East 75th. That's on the exit to I-69, and we do have stop-and-go traffic back to East 56th Street, delayed 6 minutes. Northbound 65 slow through the construction Raymond Street up to the South Split. And we have a medical emergency coming out of the North Split. This is eastbound 70 post North Split, and it's isolated to the right shoulder. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Temperature heating up. That means we could see some big storms tonight, maybe tomorrow. Marcus Bailey of Wish TV will be joining us here in just about 15 minutes or so, right after the news at 4 with the absolute latest. It's 85 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, and we've got a nude dude in the news.
Here's another nude dude in the news.
What are you laughing at, Jim?
I just read ahead at what you're about to talk about.
Dateline, Louisiana. A guy in Louisiana was arrested for pleasuring himself inside of a display shed at a Lowe's hardware store. So they've got those sheds that are sitting up outside for display. And I've had some friends that have worked at Lowe's. Things happen in those sheds. You get homeless folks going in there. You get some weird drug deals going on in there. And in this case, some dude treating his body like an amusement park. Police said he also had an electronic device. We're thinking this is probably a phone because he admitted he had been waxing the carrot while watching YouTube.
Wow. So this is at just a regular Lowe's, and he's in there just doing stuff, you know.
Correct.
Wow. It's almost like a country music song. Like this could have been an old George Jones song, you know, waxing the candle in the Lowe's parking lot. I don't know. You know what's interesting? My dad told me that they have this problem northeast side at the Lowe's on I believe Shadeland and 82nd Street. They have huge problems, and the police up there have caught people in there doing things, drug deals, or, you know, self-pleasuring. But yeah, who knew about Lowe's? Does it happen at Home Depot too, or is it brand specific?
I believe it probably happens at Home Depot too. Do they set the sheds out at Home Depot?
I don't know.
Anything like that happen at Sullivan's? Allison, have you ever had to go get Pat because somebody was in there, going nuts on themselves?
Luckily, there's no displays at Sullivan's like that. And maybe that's why.
Okay, well, there you go. Now, the interesting thing to me, too, is the guy said he was watching YouTube while taking care of himself. He wasn't watching, like, Pornhub or some other adult film site. He was watching YouTube. So it makes me wonder, was he listening to music?
Oh.
Maybe he wasn't even watching adult cinema, because that's sometimes hard to find on YouTube. Maybe he needed some theme music. So I want to go around the board here. If you were going to do that in a Lowe's, what song would you listen to that would fire you up to get the job done? Jeff Boggs.
Oh, I got to go first on this. I'd probably back time the theme to Titanic.
Oh, okay. That's classy.
To the big moment, just because the romantic angle of Jack and Rose, and you got the tragedy and then the explosion and things like that.
I've already got the theme song for Magnum PI earmarked for when I make love to the coupon lady. Okay. So that's off the board. So I'm going with the song from the Karate Kid. You're the best around. Another girl ever get down. Like, I would go with that. Allison?
Why? Why am I part of this? Why am I here? I don't know.
Oh, come on. You have to have a song.
Right.
Allison, you're at a Lowe's. You're feeling frisky.
You just saw Matt Bear in his shorts.
There you go.
Oh, my gosh. This is...
What about like an Enrique Iglesias song?
I can be your hero, baby.
Ooh.
Let's go with John Stamos, the Forever song he sang in Full House.
Oh, wow.
I was trying to go deep cut.
And plus you can think about Stamos, right? That's a good-looking man.
I mean,
what do you think he was really watching? I mean, do we think he was watching adult content on YouTube, or do you think maybe it was like music videos, old movies? I don't know how old the gentleman was. Could have been the girls from Blackpink, or it could have been Lonnie Anderson and Stroker Ace.
Pacer highlights, I don't know. Maybe he was really happy about beating the Cavs.
Actually, Game 5, I got close. But anyway.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
It's JMV. Miss M's annual open house is Saturday. Start your morning with coffee from Pearl Coffee Company. Then shop Miss M's and save 20% off everything in stock. Join Pat and Denny from WIBC's Home and Garden Show live on location from 9 until 1. Between 11 and 2, it's live music from Acoustic Catfish, refreshing wine from Mallow Run Winery, and lunch from Chomp's Food Truck. Sales, giveaways, and prizes all day. Saturday only, 20% off everything in stock. Labor excluded. Miss M's on State Road 135 south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
What is 988?
It's a free 24-hour suicide and crisis lifeline.
And what is a crisis?
Maybe something you experience so often.
You don't even think it's a crisis.
Anxiety over money.
A stressful relationship.
Concerns about a loved one's mental health.
If you are experiencing thoughts of suicide or mental health or substance use crisis, call or text 988.
It's a listening ear.
And it's a way forward.
Hammer and Nigel for Bill Demery, your retirement guy. So if you've invested $200,000 or more, how would you also like to receive a 20% upfront bonus? And on top of that, a return that's averaged 7% a year for the past 10 years. Those are results. That is not a fluke. That is a trend. And on top of all of that, your money is backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world. That is what Bill Demery is coming to the table with. So it's time to make that phone call to set up that free consultation with Bill Demery. He's my retirement guy. He wants to be your retirement guy. 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. Get an upfront 20% bonus on your deposit that's averaged 7% a year for the past decade, and it's backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world, Bill Demery. Call now, set up a free meeting, 317-648-5120.
During much of Indiana's history, communicating on the telephone with the deaf or hard of hearing was nearly impossible. Friends and loved ones couldn't stay in touch, so the hard of hearing became isolated. Today, those with hearing loss have equal access with the captioned telephone from Relay Indiana and can keep their independence. Relay Indiana allows a caller to read what the other party is saying. This advanced technology keeps Hoosiers connected so that everyone can contribute to Indiana's productive future. Learn more at RelayIndiana.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where Indiana Foundation Service comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at indianafoundation.com/row.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If this is the year to build your custom dream home, Joyner Homes is ready to help make your dream come true. They offer the flexibility to build on your own lot, allowing you to build a home in the place you've always envisioned. A dedicated in-house team of experts will guide you through every step, offering unmatched personalization and flexibility. Joyner Homes provides clear and upfront pricing and floor plans to inspire you. There's no time like the present to get in touch with Joyner Homes to talk about your vision and learn more about their building process. Visit JoynerHomes.com.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
Diplomacy and investment. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News, as the president winds down his Mideast trip.
His team, specifically the financial team, have been fanning out at each stop in these 3 countries that we've gone to for various meetings. And President Trump is now saying, the way he sees things, this trip has gone better than he expected, with $1.4 trillion over 10 years already added to everything else that they have managed to secure.
Fox's Peter Ducey in Abu Dhabi, the final planned stop. The U.S. still pushing for peace talks between Russia and Ukraine, but only lower-level delegations are in Turkey now after Russia's president did not answer the Ukraine leader's call to meet him there.
So the question really is now what's going to happen next? Europe and the U.S. are likely to push for a 30-day ceasefire, threaten Russia with more sanctions. But there's a widespread belief that Russia feels like it is winning on the battlefield despite the heavy toll. So it's going to be tough to get them to change their strategy now.
Fox's Steve Harrigan in Turkey, where any direct talks between Russia and Ukraine would be the first in more than 3 years. The president's executive order aimed at ending birthright citizenship for U.S.-born babies whose parents are in the U.S. illegally heads to the U.S. Supreme Court, which is also weighing arguments on the power of district judges to block orders nationwide.
A number of the justices asking about practical issues. Say they lift that nationwide injunction, say a judge can't do it. Well, then on day one, when babies start being born, do the ones in New Jersey get citizenship if they're here born to illegal parents and ones in Texas don't? I mean, there were just all kinds of practical questions. But Justice Alito kept bringing it back to the question before them, which is about whether a single federal judge, some 680 roughly of them, can shut down a policy nationwide.
Fox's Shannon Bream at the Supreme Court. An expedited ruling could come in days or weeks. A mixed finish on Wall Street. The Dow up 271 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The first chance this week for severe storms. None right now. Radar is a complete blank. But you do have some clouds, and it's 84 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 4:02. The first chance for storms this evening and tonight.
We're expecting the chances of severe weather not just today, but also tomorrow, Friday. So we'll take it one day at a time. The first shot would be what we call a conditional threat. We're not thinking it's going to be too widespread, although some things to look at. The ingredients probably will come together, but not to a widespread nature.
Forecaster Alex McGinnis with the National Weather Service. He says you should be aware that large hail, strong winds, and tornadoes may be possible, even though it's not supposed to be widespread. Toll roads may be in Indiana's future. Johnette Cruz explains.
Get ready for potential changes on Indiana highways. A new law now makes it easier to introduce tolls on interstates across the state. Lawmakers say Indiana's gas tax isn't bringing in enough money to keep up with road repairs and improvements. This new bill allows INDOT to seek federal approval for tolling any highway without needing new studies or facing location restrictions. State officials say no final decisions on specific toll roads have been made, and any proposals would require further review.
A mental evaluation may be in the works for Brittany Fortenberry, the former Eminence High School teacher charged with molesting and sexually abusing students, arrested after students started coming forward in February. Whether she has a mental condition could affect whether she is competent for trial or could be used in her defense. 23-year-old Melvin Anderson of Indianapolis will be spending the next 17 and a half years in the federal lockup for distributing child pornography. Anderson pleaded guilty to providing the child porn on a cloud-based service where he charged people $10 to $25, advertising it on Twitter. The leader of the Hells Angels in Marshall County checks off some stereotypes with an arrest on drug dealing charges. Norman Tackett is charged with possession of meth and dealing meth after a raid on his house in Bourbon. That's where the cops say they found not only the meth, but also some of the paraphernalia associated with dealing. Now to practice at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, here's Brendan King.
You may not have 1,000 horsepower, but you're always racing, whether it's to work, to pick something up, or drop someone off. So go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're racing to, go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
A good afternoon from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm Brendan King with your 93 WIBC track update. It's brought to you by B&W HVAC, Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard Air dealer. Ask B&W about their Premier Club. Practice well underway here from 16th and Georgetown as we'll get the turbo boost on Fast Friday tomorrow. Practice rolling until 6 this evening, and nobody quicker than the two-time defending champion, Joseph Newgarden, the only car to eclipse 226 miles an hour. He's at 226.632, followed in the Fast Six by Scott Dixon, Connor Daly, Pato O'Ward, Ryan Hunter-Ray, and Alex Palou. Colton Hurd is 7th, Christian Rasmussen is 8th, David Malukas 9th, and Scott McLaughlin at number 10. Here at practice from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Sunshine all over, a beautiful day. Brendan King, 93 WIBC.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, on the northeast side, the stall cleared, but we're still slow on northbound 465 after I-70 up to I-69. 9-minute delay. Inbound 69 dragging from 106th Street, 282nd, and eastbound 465 stop and go Westfield Boulevard over to Allisonville Road. Inbound 65 delayed 8 minutes, MLK to Meridian Pet. Eastbound 70 delayed 7 minutes, Harding Street to the south split. South side eastbound 465 slow from I-69 over to Emerson Avenue, and on the northwest side northbound 465 slow roll from 86th Street to 865. Crash 46th Street at Washington Boulevard. Crash in Canby, Heartland Boulevard at State Road 67. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are
weirdos?
So let's rock it!
We could have a little action tonight, tomorrow, and I'm not talking about the good kind like you would see on the track at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm talking about the weather. My name is Jason Hammer. Jeff Boggs is filling in for Big Nige, and let's go to the hotline right now and bring on our pal Marcus Bailey. Marcus, before we get into anything fun here, because we like to joke, we like to have a good time, we've got some things to keep our eye on, correct?
Yeah, it's both tonight and then I think potentially tomorrow night that we got to be alert for the potential of some strong to severe thunderstorms. I think both have decent ingredients that you could get some pretty nasty storms going. I'm probably a little more concerned and keeping my eye out for tomorrow, but I don't want to throw tonight away. Basically, the window for tonight's going to be as early as 6 or 7 o'clock in the metro area to around midnight or 1 a.m., kind of that 5-6 hour window. All modes of severe weather are in play, although I lean a little bit more toward a damaging wind threat, maybe some hail. but you could have a little twist in some of these storms, a little rotation. I think the better opportunity for that to actually happen would be in northern Indiana, but certainly can't rule it out. And I do want to stress, too, that for tonight's event, this would be more isolated. So I don't think we're going to see numerous storms, widespread across the state, but these will be kind of hit and miss. So there will be many more areas that won't deal with that, but it's just something you kind of need to be aware of for tonight. For tomorrow, basically kind of the same time frame. I'm thinking 5 p.m., 6 p.m. at the earliest. Could go till around 11 p.m. to midnight. And I think this is going to be kind of a longer line of storms, starts to develop in Illinois. And I think there's a lot better ingredients to kind of let these things just really mature. And in that time frame, you'll have kind of a bowing effect of this line. And so that could be a damaging wind threat, could have some hail, and there could be some spin-ups of tornadoes in that line as well. So both are kind of early and mid-evening events tonight and tomorrow that you need to be alert of.
Marcus, let me ask you a question. A couple nights ago in Fishers, that's where I'm at. We had a storm that just sat on us for like 3 hours, and the lightning was unlike anything I can remember. What was that about?
So I'm glad you brought that up. So, and a lot of people had a rough drive. That would have been yesterday morning, but we kind of had the same situation past couple of days. When you get into these, muggy air masses and you get into, closer to the summer months, it's very easy for these storms to develop just because of the pure heating of the afternoon, and you've got a lot of moisture in the air. And you don't necessarily have a mechanism like a cold front or any little upper-level disturbances moving from west to east to form these storms. And so these storms essentially form, and there's nothing guiding them. And so they just sit in one spot. And so where you traditionally would get maybe a strong, like tonight or tomorrow night, and you'll get a storm coming through here, we usually say on the air, okay, this severe thunderstorm's moving east at 40 miles per hour. In your case, that storm was not even moving. It was stationary. And so that's why not only did you just have heavy rain that sat over you, but you had a heck of a light show because, again, it wasn't moving. It was just sitting in one spot.
Yeah, it was like the Tom Cruise movie War of the Worlds.
Oh, yeah.
When the lightning was actually aliens coming down. It was that crazy for about 3 hours. My dog was out on the balcony with me, and he's, used to Los Angeles. We don't really get that. He didn't know what to do. He just turned around, went under the bed, and he was there for the rest of the night.
Well, and a lot of those storms, too, to that point, like they form and then we call them like pulsing up, pulsing down. But a lot of times when they fall apart, they crash in on themselves. The wind that they spit out can then also produce more storms in that vicinity. So that's probably what you were dealing with. It wasn't just one storm, but it was one storm that created another storm that created another storm that just kind of kept going and going until finally they just ran out of steam. So that's kind of the explanation of what you had to deal with the other night.
So, Marcus, we've got a lot of action going on here in the city. It is qualification weekend out at the Motor Speedway. Fast Friday is tomorrow. Practice out at the Motor Speedway taking place all this week. What's it going to be like for fans going out to the track? Obviously, today, chalk that off the board here as we are already here. But starting tomorrow through qualification weekend, what are we looking at?
Well, I mean, we had kind of a rough week, right? Today was ironic. Ironically, we have a severe weather threat, but today was kind of the first day we really didn't have any weather-related delays. We had to start late or we had to end early or have some delays the last couple of days for practice because of rain and to try to dry out the track. So obviously no issues today. It's just really muggy. I think, honestly, the same setup tomorrow. The tail end of Fast Friday might be in jeopardy, but I honestly think we're probably going to get most of practice in okay with any weather-related issues. So I'm not overly concerned there. And then obviously you have the severe weather threat. But here's the deal. I think rain chances are probably going to be gone around 1 or 2 in the morning. It takes, a couple of hours, 2.5 hours to dry out the track. By the time everybody wakes up in the morning, we get the sun out on Saturday. I see zero issues. And to that point, not only are we going to be dry, but I think we're going to be cooler because it's pretty hot right now. We're in the mid-80s. It's going to be less humid as well, and I think that goes for both days. The only hang-up I would say that would be an issue, but I think it's a minor issue, is it may be a little breezy on Saturday. But I think that'd be a refreshing breeze if you're going to be sitting out on the track and the sun's beating down on you. So I don't see any weather issue why we don't get all 33 cars in this weekend on time.
And I was going to ask you this, Marcus. Is it way too early for the most important forecast of the year?
A little bit when it comes to precipitation. When we're this far out, a little over, if you're over 5 or 6 days out, it's tough to gauge precipitation and timing. But you can get a gauge on some patterns, temperatures, and some of the longer range models, when you kind of average them out, put our highs into the mid-70s for Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I will say that the first half of next week looks pretty active. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll have some chances for thunderstorms. Doesn't look like it's a washout. And then there's some hints that the pattern flattens out. Now, I don't want to go beyond that because so much can change between now and then. I mean, if you think about last year, I think you and I probably had this conversation, and I said, there might be some rain, but, it doesn't look overly crazy. And then you saw what happened, and we ended up getting delayed. So you don't want to go too far into the weeds on this because things can change so much. But we do usually feel pretty good about temperature trends when you get this far out. And mid-upper 70s, which is normal for late May, looks to be on tap for race weekend, which that would be pretty nice.
But can you promise me that it's not going to rain on Brett Michaels?
that would be next Friday.
Can you promise me?
I can't promise, but I mean, here's the deal. I can't promise rain, but it might be raining beer on you.
Okay.
At Carb Day. So
because I'll be there, so I can attest that's a 100% guarantee, Marcus. I can back you up. You can promise that it will rain beer on somebody as long as Nigel and I are there.
100%.
Marcus, I know sometimes when I reach out to you on Friday, I bother you, I hassle you because you're busy getting your golf game on. But if you're available tomorrow, we'd love to have you back to talk about kind of the same stuff here if we're going to get some storms tomorrow night.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm wide open. In fact, I'll probably be on standby just in case things get a little bit hairy that they might need my help at the station. So yeah, let's book it, and hopefully we can talk about things maybe calming down, but always happy to help in case things get a little bit hairy.
Where can we get more coverage?
Of course, WishTV.com and on Wish TV, and you can follow me on Facebook, X, and Instagram at Marcus Bailey.
Marcus Bailey, you're an American treasure. We appreciate you.
Thanks, fellas.
We go from one great Patriot to another. Here's Matt Baer with a look at the roads.
Right, fellas, looking at inbound 69. Slow 96 to 82nd. Eastbound 465, stop and go traffic, Westfield Boulevard over to Allisonville Road. Inbound 65, delayed 6 minutes, MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 75-minute delay from Harding into the South Split. Northbound 65, stop and go traffic, Raymond Street into the South Split through the construction zone. Coming out of the North Split, that is slow on northbound 65 up to 21st Street. On the northwest side, northbound 465, stop and go on 79 to 865. Westbound lane slow from Meridian to Michigan. And on the south side, eastbound 465, slow from 31 over to Emerson Avenue. Crash 46 at Washington Boulevard. Crash Canby, Heartland Boulevard at State Road 67. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Secure low prices on brands like GE Profile, Cafe, and more during the locked-in pricing sale at Grand Appliance. Visit grandappliance.com or your local Grand today. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Couple quick reminders here. If you missed our latest AI creation, Baby Nigel recapping his vacation so far, you can see that right now at the Hammer and Nigel Show Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Make sure you follow us on all those platforms. Baby Nige, who may be drunk, telling us about his vacation so far. Also, speaking of great patriots, we need 49 badass Americans to give us a thumbs up on the WIBC YouTube chat. Go to YouTube. Do not do anything bad to yourself in a shed while watching it. Simply go to the WIBC YouTube channel. And they've got the Hammer and Nigel Show streaming, almost like we're a TV show here, Jeff. We got cameras, we got a chat going on, And if we do not get to 100 likes, then producer Allison loses her job.
Oh.
I'm sorry, but we will have to get Megamondo back. So please, save Allison. We need 49 more people to go to that YouTube page, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, help us get to 100. Don't go anywhere. We're going to play a fun round of Is This Anything coming up. It's 85 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Big Joe here for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical.
With a B&W Premier Club membership, you'll stay ahead of breakdowns and costly repairs. Our members get routine maintenance, priority scheduling, and exclusive discounts, saving you money and keeping your family comfortable all season long. Visit bplusw.com or call 317-214-0108 for more information.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer since 1961.
I'm still going for it.
Hey, I'm talking here. I'm talking about the Thompson Furniture tariff-free Made in America sale. Nobody puts baby in a corner, and nobody cuts me off when I'm talking about America, and that's what Thompson Furniture and Mattress are doing. Save 50% on Lazy Boy, Smith Brothers, and save up to $800 on mattresses, and they guarantee the lowest price on Berlin Gardens and Pollywood Outdoor Furniture. And what I love about Thompson Furniture and Mattress is they love you guys, the listeners of this show. I told them, we as a group are the most loyal people in the world, and they have seen it. They always send me pictures of Hammer and Nigel listeners going to their store, buying Tempur-Pedic mattresses, outdoor patio furniture, whatever the case may be. And you know what's awesome? It's a great Hoosier business, owned and operated by the same awesome family since the 20s, and they still have free delivery and setup if you live within 75 miles of their store. They appreciate and support us here at the Hammer and Nigel Show, so next time you need something for the homestead, check out Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. It's the tariff-free, made in the USA sale. Stop by, tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Pat Sullivan here with exciting news from my friends at Hope Plumbing, now known as Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Hope now offers plumbing, heating, and air conditioning services, bringing total comfort to your home. No more dealing with multiple home service memberships. For only $8 a month, Hope is now your one-stop for safety and maintenance inspections and so much more. Make sure you're prepared for those Indiana summer heat waves with an AC tune-up by calling Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today at 641-HOPE.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
This hour on WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, designers of fine custom jewelry.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Is This Anything is brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed. Pretty cool program presented by the Attorney General's office here in Indiana. The AG's office, Todd Rokita's office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every damn week on the telephone. Weird Science fans, make some noise. Check it out, indianaunclaimed.gov. See if you have some money out there, indianaunclaimed.gov. Jeff Boggs is in for Nigel. Jeff, is this anything? It was announced last night that in Ice Cube's 3-on-3 basketball league, the Big Three, they've now signed former Pacer Lance Stevenson. Is that anything?
Oh, that's something, definitely. Lance is still in great shape. It's a cool league. I think he would be a stud in that league. I would watch it.
He's still got the moves. I know he plays and runs some open gyms up at the facility owned by the Teague brothers off of 10th Street in Speedway. And I think it's called D1. My son used to train for baseball there, and they have some amazing open gyms in the summertime with all the local indie area NBA players. They just go and run. I mean, they have like their own like summer league there. It's the Teague brothers and Lance Stevenson and Eric Gordon and some of these other dudes.
Is it better than the Hyper down at Bloomington? You know, that's just short dudes chucking threes. That was me. That was me for 4 years at the Hyper.
Slightly better than the Hyper, just a little bit. But yeah, and look, Lance was at a Pacer game a couple weeks ago. He was sitting down there front row. He looks great. So good for him, man. And that 3-on-3 league, he can showcase some of the showboating skills, right? That's what that's for.
Yeah.
Is this anything? A woman in Houston towed her boyfriend's car with a big chain. Didn't hook it up to a wrecker, didn't hook it up to like some sort of tow truck, just tied it up with a chain and dragged the back of his car backwards. Pretty sure that's not how it's done. It was all over the road. It was getting beat up. Luckily, nobody was hurt here. Here's a witness talking about the crazy scene.
You like losing control, you know. I heard when his tire blew out. She was trying to talk to him, but he didn't want to hear nothing.
So the guy was still in the car, and the girl was towing the car with just a big chain and nothing else, just tearing up the road, tearing up the car. That anything?
I think it's love. I think that's what it is. I mean, you know, it's obviously dangerous. I think Matt Bear would be the first to say, don't do that. Never tow a car just with a chain. But, there's something really kind of crazy about it. Dedication, good for her. But I would say it's something, yes.
When does a chain ever make anything better out on the roads? Because some people put chains on their tires when it's snowing, and that just tears up the roads. And this crazy broad in Houston just ties it to one bumper to another and is dragging this dude's car around the street like it's hanging on for dear life.
It's very random. The chains, the whole, your car needs chains to go through that snowy weather. Like people just have chains hanging around. It's like, just slip them over my 4 tires like it's nothing.
Is this anything? At a minor league baseball game in North Carolina, the Kannapolis Cannonballers have a bat dog. Not a bat boy or a bat kid that comes out to the on-deck circle and grabs the bats. They have a trained dog. But this dog ran out to home plate, decided that he had to go to the can, squatted down and took a big dog dump in front of everybody. And here's the crowd's reaction.
As Miss Casey Betty has made her appearance, and the bat dog has made her presence felt. It's a numero dos behind home.
A numero dos behind home, Jeff.
I would say let those of us who have never taken a crap on the field at a AA baseball game cast the first stone.
Preach. Last one. Is this anything? Netflix is bringing back the old talent show Star Search as a live event. Netflix has been trying to do more live stuff lately. They've got NFL games. They got the WWE. They had the roast of Brady, that fight between the Paul brother and Mike Tyson. They don't know who the new host is going to be yet. They've not announced it. Obviously, Ed McMahon, best remembered as the host of the original Star Search. Here is a little trip down memory lane, Jeff, of some of the folks that made it big from Star Search. Dave Chappelle, Beyonce, and Britney Spears.
Growing up in D.C., I had like the most dangerous job in the District of Columbia. I used to deliver pizzas for Domino's. They would rob me every day.
Your challenges are a young group from Houston. Welcome Beyonce, Lativia, Nina, Nikki, Kelly, and Ashley, the hip-hop rapping Girls Time.
Beyonce.
I don't care.
Britney Spears.
She's this little girl that put out a voice of like an 18-year-old.
Yeah, I think it struck me as odd when Ed McMahon was trying to pronounce those names. It reminded me of ESPN trying to pronounce the names of the Pacers. He didn't quite get them right.
I bet if they were New York Knicks players, they'd have the perfect pronunciation.
They would. The great thing about watching Star Search was you knew Ed was absolutely tanked during the show. That guy loved a cold beer and a shot.
Are those rumors true? If anybody would know, it'd be a guy that has been a writer for Letterman. I know Letterman was close with Carson. Was Ed McMahon tanked a lot?
I'll tell you what. I shot a music show for Nickelodeon in the same studio where they shot Star Search. And the stagehands, some of them worked on Star Search, and they showed us Ed's dressing room. And the stories they told, they were all true.
Hi-oh! It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Don Fisher here for QC Kinetics. I want to share with you the best thing I've done for my knee pain. I've been hearing commercials about the groundbreaking treatments that QC Kinetics offers for months. Meantime, my chronic knee pain had hit an all-time high threshold. I wanted to stay active and enjoy playing golf again without the pain. So I decided to call and book an appointment. And what I found out was that QC Kinetics is the non-surgical solution. I have no knee pain and feel like I did 10 years ago. And it's all because of the non-invasive therapy from QC Kinetics.
Discover the solution to joint pain with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. For a free consultation, call 463-282-6886.
I'm back to playing golf and enjoying life. Take it from me, this is the best call you can make to relieve your orthopedic pain.
For your free consultation, call QC Kinetics today. 463-282-6886. 463-282-6886.
Guys, don't waste time and money with low-quality online TRT that charges you over $100 just to start. Visit the TRT experts at the Low T Center for a free consultation and a free test. Treatment is personalized to your body, and most major insurances accept it. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start prescription treatment right now at the Low T Center. Offer is limited, but book right now. FixMyLowT.com. That's FixMyLowT.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Yours by the right of your birth or not. Nothing on radar. Rain is expected later this evening and overnight, though. The possibility of severe storms come with that. And for Friday, too. Right now, it's 84 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending.
We've been parsing through whether we're treating for the first time since the United States Civil War, okay, 157 years, that we would have to sit there and say, are we going to treat babies differently?
The Supreme Court heard arguments today on President Trump's executive order seeking to deny birthright citizenship to children born in the U.S. to undocumented parents. New Jersey Attorney General Matt Plotkin, representing nearly 20 Democrat-led states challenging the order, spoke after oral arguments ended.
It's about whether the president can act like a king. The answer I think the court is going to say is no, he cannot.
The court could have a ruling by the end of June. Another court, this one in Martinsville, will consider whether or not to order a psych evaluation for accused child molester and former Eminence High School teacher Brittany Fortenberry. She is facing more than 20 sexual abuse charges accused by former students who say she showed them pornography and molested and abused them. If psychologists believe she has a mental disorder, that could help in her defense or may lead a judge to deem her unfit for trial. It's what Americans think about DEI. Fox's Kristen Goodwin.
A poll of nearly 1,200 Americans conducted by the Associated Press Nork Center for Public Affairs Research, finding 40% strongly or somewhat favor college diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, while 30% strongly or somewhat oppose them. When it comes to party lines, 60% of Republicans polled say they are against the programs, while 70% of Democrats are for them. And when asked about specifics, 33% of Republicans say they are against scholarships targeting minority students, while more than half say they support courses that teach about racism. President Trump issued executive orders aimed at eliminating DEI efforts and dismantling federal programs that promote them, but the orders are facing legal challenges. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Meet Alan, who was diagnosed with sleep apnea.
I was what they call a mouth breather, and I would breathe at night with my mouth open.
And for about 8 years, Alan struggled with a CPAP machine. And then
I saw the Advent commercial, and I thought, well, what do you got to lose? This machine is miserable.
For most people, CPAP machines are miserable. But a simple in-office solution from Advent can be life-changing.
And it really was, to me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. After having one of Advent's simple in-office procedures, people are amazed at how freely and clearly they can breathe.
I'm happy with the procedure. I'm very glad I did it. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago. I could have avoided that machine I had to have laying next to the bed with the hose wrapped around my head.
Schedule your appointment at AdventKnows.com because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. Here's Matt Bear.
Chris Davis inbound 69 jammed 106 282nd 9-minute delay. And coming into downtown, inbound 65 delay 9 minutes from MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70, we have a stall in the middle of the interstate at Harding, has a slow back to Tibbs, and then we continue to be slow into the south split. Northbound 65 slow into the south split from Raymond Street. That's a construction zone. Northbound 465 northwest side slow 79 to 865. East side southbound 465 tight from 70 down to 74. And on the south side, eastbound 465 stop and go traffic from 31 over to Emerson Avenue. Crash 46 at Washington Boulevard. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
A slight 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather is in place from 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. tonight. That is if storms can fire off, and if so, all hazards will be possible. But Friday's severe risk is higher. There is a level 3 to 5 enhanced risk across central Indiana with a level 4 to 5 moderate risk across southwestern and southern Indiana. All hazards are once again possible with potential for multiple storm clusters. Some significant severe weather is also possible as well Friday afternoon and night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Schedule has been set for the Eastern Conference Finals and your Indiana Pacers. I'm Jason Hammer. Jeff Boggs filling in for Big Nige. Now look, still don't know if it's going to be the Knicks or the Celtics. The Knicks lead that series 3-2. Celtics avoided elimination last night. They won at home. Game 6 in Madison Square Garden is tomorrow, where the Knicks can close out the Celtics. But whoever it is, Game 1 will be Wednesday, May 21st. Pacers are on the road at either New York or Boston. All these games are at 8 o'clock, and they're all on TNT. So Game 1 is Wednesday of next week. Game 2, Carb Day, Friday, May 23rd. Again, on the road 8 p.m. TNT. And as we've been talking about, the first home game in the Eastern Conference Finals for the Pacers, you've got Racers and Pacers. Fans in Indy, you can do your own double. You can do the double, the 500 in the morning and the Pacer game that night.
Yeah, listen, this is a big, this Boston-New York series is kind of a big deal because New York has a very small bench. You know, they're not a deep team. And Boston, of course, lost Tatum. He's out for the year. So the longer this series goes, the better it is for us. So it's worth watching. And then I was excited to hear that Game 2 on Carb Day, you can still go to the Bret Michaels concert, and then you can go home and watch the Pacer game.
Yes. You can show up and hang out with us at Carb Day. Near Garage 23, the mother of all Beer Sample Fridays. We're going to be there a week from tomorrow. The Hensley Legal Group Command Center. Show up and show out. We're going to have the celebrity beer bong out there, and we're going to get nuts. I believe the coupon lady is going to have her virgin experience on the beer bong.
Ooh.
So we're looking forward to that. We're trying to talk Mrs. Nige into doing the same. So maybe we can have a little back and forth with the beer bong with the better halves of the show. Other games in that series, Tuesday, May 27th, that is here in Indy, 8 p.m. And if the series needs 5, 6, or 7 games, May 29th, which is a Thursday on the road. Game 6 would be back here in Indy. May 31st, that's a Saturday at the Fieldhouse. And if there's a Game 7 in the Eastern Finals, Monday, June 2nd on the road. So that is your breakdown for the Pacers. And again, Racers happening now. Practice out at the Motor Speedway. Tomorrow is Fast Friday, where the cars get a little boost, the qualifying boost. So you're going to find out the pretenders and the contenders tomorrow as we head into pole day, bump day, and qualifications this weekend. Miss Allison, we have got some legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
All right, Jeff, I want to make sure you're sitting down for this, okay?
All right, I'm down.
Not something we say very often, and I don't want to catch you off guard. Chief Justice Roberts, voice of reason.
Ooh.
Voice of reason. So the Supreme Court today, they're hearing the arguments from the Trump administration about what constitutes birthright citizenship, okay? And at one point, you've got a Trump attorney, and he's up there talking, making his case, he's answering questions, when super leftist Supreme Court Justice Sotomayor keeps cutting him off. And then at one point, even though it's not super demonstrative, the fact that he did it at all, I feel like is some sort of progress here. The Chief Justice steps in and basically says, pipe down, let the guy talk.
We are not claiming that because we're conceding that there could be an inappropriate case.
Only a class, only by Could I hear the rest of his answer?
That's fancy talk for sit down and shut up.
I'm noticing Democrats are having a problem being told no. When they were trying to break into the ICE facility last week and they were told no, they seem to, I think they're shocked because we've gone so long where no one told them no, that it was nice to see Chief Roberts do that. Hammer, can I ask you a question to clarify this birthright citizenship? So if I understand the logic correctly, what they're saying is if a pregnant woman breaks into Nancy Pelosi's house and gives birth in Nancy Pelosi's house, then that child should have a legal claim to Nancy Pelosi's $200 million fortune, correct?
I don't believe that's how it works.
Oh, okay. I don't understand it then. I don't understand it at all because why in the world would we just allow anyone who comes into our country and gives birth to a child to be an American citizen? Doesn't that encourage breaking the law?
That's an interesting way to look at it for sure. And this is one of the big things the Supreme Court is going to have to consider here. Now, there are going to be some justices that the conservatives feel like are going to drop the ball here. Let's be honest. Amy Coney Barrett has not been a very strong conservative Supreme Court justice. I know the average person will say, you shouldn't be biased either way. Let's cut the crap. All of these justices have their own leanings. It's depending on how you look at something, kind of ties into your political affiliation.
Right, but you can't tell me in this specific case, and I'm very happy Trump is trying to change this. You can't tell me the spirit of the law of this is to allow any person who gets into the country. It's almost like American Gladiators. They have to get through the wall and climb over the fence. And if they give birth here, hey, you're an American. It just seems like such a poor approach to this specific law. I can't imagine the majority of justices will be okay with this.
I'm just surprised we got a rare moment of Chief Justice Roberts not being a weasel.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen now? Since he did that one time, now he's going to let it go for another 6 months. So
6 months, try 6 years.
Right.
That guy. More legal stuff here. A grandpa in Texas is facing felony charge after ramming his car into another vehicle after the driver tossed a burrito at his car. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we've seen this exact same moment unfold in the movie Anchorman, where Ron Burgundy is driving down the road, tosses his burrito out the window, and it causes Jack Black on his motorcycle to crash.
This burrito is delicious, but it is filling.
I mean, that's the exact same thing we're talking about here.
You can't be throwing burritos out of your window. My goodness. By the way, who doesn't finish a burrito?
Right.
Do you ever? I can't think of a food, maybe in the last 10 years, where I've been like, I've had enough.
The only time I've never been able to finish a burrito was maybe if it was a La Bamba's big as your head burrito, and I passed out while eating it. Because let's be honest, if you're getting La Bambas, if you're a young guy on a college campus, it's probably 2 o'clock in the morning and you have been overserved.
Yeah, but you're coming to it about 6 a.m. You're still going to finish that burrito.
Oh, yeah. You're excited. You got breakfast.
That's right.
We got tickets. We've got tickets for Carb Day, Miller Lite Carb Day. The Hammer and Nigel show will be broadcasting live near the Gasoline Alley area, Garage 23. Make sure you guys come by and hang out with us. Maybe you can do a beer bong if you want. Knock yourselves out. We're going to have a good time. We want you to join us. So caller number 9, you get to play the game we've been playing all week. Pacer or Racer, 239-9393. That's 239-9393. Caller number 9, your chance to win next.
Wondering when to plant grass seed for ideal results? Wondering who has the best lawn products? Well, now is the time, and great lawn starts with Jonathan Green products. Hey, Pat Sullivan here from Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. And like Sullivan Hardware and Garden, Jonathan Green is a family-owned and operated business. Jonathan Green has only premium quality Black Beauty grass seed, soil foods, and fertilizers to ensure that you achieve noticeably better results on your lawn. By making your work easier and delivering an impressive lawn, Jonathan Green products will turn your lawn into a green space to be enjoyed with family and friends. Black Beauty seed mixtures are sold at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Improve your lawn with Jonathan Green. Shop, play, experience. Spring with Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers.
You probably have a dream retirement in mind, but do you know how to get there? The difference between dreaming and living your ideal retirement comes down to having the right plan. And that's where Howard Bailey Financial can help. At Howard Bailey Financial, we've created a free retirement toolkit to help you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Text DREAM to 888-262-1104 to download your free retirement toolkit that includes a retirement checklist, Social Security decisions guide, estate planning guide, and more. We want your dream retirement to be your reality. And it starts by texting DREAM to 888-262-1104. Let us help you take the next step toward the retirement of your dreams. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Nothing better than taking the family out to a midsummer baseball game out at Victory Field. And my friends at AAA Hoosier Motor Club can help deliver on some big-time savings. They're partners with the Indianapolis Indians and sponsors of their fabulous Friday night fireworks. And if you're an Indians fan and a AAA member, you get all sorts of perks. $4 off tickets to all home games, plus 10% concessions and Indians Pro Shop discounts.
Yeah, going to Victory Field, always fun. Same with going on a vacation. And AAA members, you save when you have a membership. You get discounts on hotels, rental cars, and even complimentary travel planning. Plus, if you run into trouble out on the road, AAA has you covered. Flat tire, dead battery, run out of gas. AAA is there 24/7, 365, no matter where your travels take you. Join AAA today. Visit AAA.com, call 844-GO-AAA-GO, or stop by your local AAA office.
Greetings, Boomtown. Ever since this neighborhood switched to Xfinity Internet,
the Wi-Fi is booming!
Xfinity combines the power of internet and mobile with one all-in plan.
So we've all got lightning-fast, secure Wi-Fi speeds at home and on the go with Wi-Fi Power Boost from Xfinity Mobile.
You get the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best in-class equipment and unlimited data included. Plus, add an unlimited mobile line.
All for only $40 a month for 1 year. To celebrate this combo, we're mashing our shows together.
It's everything you need all in one plan. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with a premium unlimited line. Now, sit back and relax with the smooth, relaxing sound
of face-melting acid metal!
Brilliant.
Visit Xfinity.com to learn more. Ends June 23rd with paperless billing and autopay stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet gateway required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year rate increases to $110 a month. After 2 years, regular rates apply. Actual Wi-Fi speeds vary. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed broadband experience report August 2024.
Start her engine by racing into Pierce Jewelers in Carmel for that perfect diamond engagement ring that will put you in the winner's circle. Shop local. Shop smart. Shop Pierce Jewelers.
Hammer and Nigel here for our friends at American Standard Heating and Air. They're built to a higher standard, and what separates them from the competition is the awesome local independent dealers that they work with, like B&W, HVAC, Plumbing, and Electrical. Join B&W's Premier Club today. Make sure you stay ahead of any breakdowns, costly repairs, because if you're a Premier Club member, you get priority scheduling. You get exclusive discounts that other people don't get. So it pays to be a Premier Club member, especially when the weather is as crazy in Indiana as it is. Call B&W and ask them about their Premier Club today. 317-214-0108. That's 317-214-0108, or go online, bplusw.com. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard, but you got to tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Saturday is the Sundown Gardens Spring Open House. Save 20% off everything in stock, excluding labor. Sundown Gardens, 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg.
The WIBC mashup is everything you love, from fiery debates to laugh-out-loud takes, all in one podcast. No weak sauce, just the best of the day each weekday. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts.
What's up, Matt?
Inbound 69 jammed, Hammer 106, 282nd. That's a 12-minute delay. Inbound 65 coming in at a 9-minute delay from the White River down to the North Split. Eastbound 70, a breakdown at Harding Street, and this is in the center lane, slowing us back to Tibbs, and then we continue to be slow before West Street into the South Split. Northbound 65 slow, Raymond Street up to the South Split through construction. Northbound 65 out of the North Split slow to West Street. Crash, Heartland Boulevard is State Road 67. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, it is a hot one. Kind of humid, not going to lie. 86 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Jeff happened to be caller number 9. Jeff, how the heck are you?
I'm doing well, man. I love your show. Thank you.
Oh, right on. Thank you.
Call anyway.
So we're going to make this as easy as we can with a game called Pacer or Racer. Here in just a moment, Jeff Boggs is going to give you the name of someone that is either a current member of the Indiana Pacers or somebody that's trying to make the field for this year's 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. You get 2 out of 3. We're going to give you the tickets, okay?
Right on.
Here we go. Number 1.
Pascal Siakam.
That would be a awesome Pacer player.
Yes.
Boom.
Boom. All right, 1 for 1. Get this one right. We throw a party. Allison gets up on the table and dances like Tina Turner.
Oh.
Here we go. Number 2.
Connor Daly.
Connor Daly.
That would be a racer that has not won yet.
That's correct. There we go. What a good time. Man, there was a race a couple years ago that Graham Rahal and Connor Daly both had a chance. They were both running incredibly well. I mean, I think Graham may have been the guy to beat. And he comes out of the pits, but they didn't lock a tire on, and the tire comes off, and Connor hits it. And it kind of spells doom for the both of them, man. I think that might have been the year that Elio won his 4th.
Okay.
But just a heartbreaker for both those guys. All right, Jeff, you have got the tickets. Stop by and see us at Carb Day, okay? Stop by the Garage 23 by Gasoline Alley and raise up a cheers with us.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to sneak my Spitfire, my Triumph, all the way to where you are, too. I know people have to track the yellow shirts and all that.
I like it.
Okay. I'm
Inside
gonna try
info.
to drive my Triumph Spitfire right to where you are.
Do it, my man.
It's only 8 foot long.
Make it happen, Jeff. Hey, stay on the line, and Allison will talk dirty to you and get some information, okay?
Right. Thank you.
Both parties seem thrilled about that very end. Allison was like, oh, and Jeff was like, all right, thanks. Coming up here in just a moment, again, we are keeping our eye on the weather tonight. We'll get you up to date with that. And again, all of a sudden, left-leaning journalists want to talk about Joe Biden's decline. We'll discuss that next.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct, and May is officially the kickoff to home improvement season. And right now, during their home improvement season sale, you'll get an incredible 50% off your windows. Yes, half off. You heard right. You can upgrade your home with beautiful, energy-efficient windows for half the cost. But it gets even better. For a limited time, you'll get no interest and no payments for 12 months. That's a whole year to enjoy your new windows before you pay a single cent. And here's the cherry on top. You'll receive a free entry door with your window purchase. Now, some restrictions may apply, so to get all the information and schedule your free in-home estimate, call Universal Windows Direct today at 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. Universal Windows Direct's home improvement season sale. Half off your windows, no interest, no payments for 12 months. 317-659-7574. Tell them Rob sent you.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group. But before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. And when Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. Every pre-owned Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, Tundra, every car, every truck, everything in the showroom, everything on the lot. Need credit? Managers will be on site, accepting applications for immediate review. Plus, Hubler's got you covered. Every Q-certified vehicle includes our 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota, everything goes. It's your chance to save like never before. Don't miss it. When Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. On US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. Before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places that I love to shop. Get it? With the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Got plans this weekend? Why not head to Honeysuckle Hill Bistro in Brazil, Indiana? Honeysuckle Hill Bistro is located inside our family's lakeside home. The menu changes weekly, and whether it's chicken to wine, we focus on serving Indiana-sourced items. One thing that's always on the menu is our version of the Hoosier breaded tenderloin sandwich. Can't decide what to order? You can order the Bites plate, where you get a sampling of everything that's on the week's menu. Honeysuckle Hill Bistro serves dinner Fridays and Saturdays 5 to 8 and Sunday brunch buffet from 11 to 2.
I'm Deidre Hall with a message about your eye health. My mother had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD, which means my family members are at greater risk. AMD affects vision, and having low vision as a result of wet AMD, the more severe form of AMD, can mean a task like driving can become a major challenge.
I'm Dr. Sada of the Doheny Eye Institute in UCLA. AMD is the most common cause of severe, irreversible vision loss in older adults in the U.S. AMD affects central vision, which lets you see fine details. About 9 million Americans are living with wet AMD or are at risk. If you're over 50, smoke, or have a family history of wet AMD, you could be at increased risk. If a healthcare professional suspects wet AMD, a retina specialist can confirm the diagnosis and work with you on a treatment plan.
Routine eye care, including regular eye exams, can help maintain your vision. Visit www.geteyesmart.org for more information.
When was the last time you practiced your home fire escape plan? Be sure everyone in your family knows what to do if there's a fire. Get out, stay out. It's your fire safe response.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
Feel different. But if you feel different, you drive different. So don't drive high. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Executive power versus judicial power. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The U.S. Supreme Court hearing more than 2 hours of arguments over a Trump executive order aiming to end birthright citizenship for babies born to illegal immigrants in the U.S. But much time was spent on an underlying issue. Federal judges able to block the order with nationwide injunctions. Justice Elena Kagan has expressed concern before about fueling forum shopping.
Say you've got a concern about a Trump policy, so you go find a federal judge in San Francisco because you think they'll rule in your favor. But she said this case is different because all of the lower court judges so far who've ruled on this executive order have ruled against the Trump administration. Well, Justice Jackson then picked up this issue about how this works for whether everybody out there seeking protection from a possible policy of this administration has to get their own ruling, or whether there can be these things like nationwide injunctions that protect everybody who potentially is impacted by the policy.
Fox's Shannon Bream at the Supreme Court. Some justices also raising concern about some babies having citizenship and some not, depending on which state they're born in, if nationwide injunctions are not allowed while the case plays out. President Trump says his trip to the Middle East has been amazing, winding down now with a final planned stop in the United Arab Emirates. The U.S. is still pushing for talks between Ukraine and Russia in Turkey after President Putin did not travel there to meet with Ukraine's leader. Florida becomes the second state after Utah to ban fluoride in drinking water.
We certainly now in our society in 2025, we have the ability to deliver fluoride through toothpaste and mouth and all these other things. You don't got to force it and take away people's choices.
Governor Ron DeSantis signing a bill that prohibits local governments from adding fluoride to their water system. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Violent criminals found in Indiana. Not found in Indiana right now. Rain and storms, but that could happen later this evening and especially tomorrow with some of those possibly severe. It's 85 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 5:02.
So we had about 18 people with prior criminal arrests or convictions, and some of those most egregious ones had multiple criminal arrests and criminal history.
FBI of Indianapolis Special Agent in Charge Dominique Evans describing raids in Bloomington and Evansville in which 23 people here illegally were rounded up.
We had multiple people that were previously removed as felons and then re-entered the United States and then continued to conduct pretty significant criminal activity.
Evans says the FBI is primarily concerned with people that are known to be violent, but anyone coming into the country should have a lawful reason. Brittany Fortenberry may get a psych evaluation. She's the former Eminence High School teacher from Morgan County, accused of molesting and sexually abusing students. Her attorneys say she may have a mental disease, and that could provide an angle for her defense. The Indianapolis Colts deleted their schedule release video Wednesday night and apologized. John Herrick explains why.
The Colts opened their regular season September 7th against the Miami Dolphins. They played a video showing Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill swimming in water as a dolphin and later getting stopped by the Coast Guard, who was using a siren. Hill was arrested in a traffic stop last year. Now, Hill saw the video and he thought it was funny, but the Colts removed it because they believed it was insensitive.
The winner of the Indy 500 actually gets to choose the kind of milk they drink in Victory Circle.
So there's a milk poll that takes place before, and it's so exciting. They get whole milk, 2%, or skim milk that they can choose from, but they all have the same benefits.
Abby Herr, representing Dairy Families of Indiana, talking to Wish TV. She gets to present the milk to the winner as the veteran presenter, while the rookie brings the milk to the team. Indiana gas has gone up. It's now $3.20 on average, says Gas Buddy. Now to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and Brendan King.
Hey, what's going on? From the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, I'm Brendan King with your 93 WIBC track update, and it's brought to you by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard air dealer. Nobody cares for you like family. About an hour to go in practice from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, practice day number 3 for the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500-mile race. And although the Fast Six has remained unchanged through the afternoon, Joseph Newgarden leading the charts, followed by Scott Dixon, Connor Daly, Pato O'Ward, Ryan Hunter-Ray, and Alex Palou. We did have our first traffic incident in the month of May. Christian Rasmussen driving the number 21 machine from Ed Carpenter Racing, doing a spinorama in turn 2 after he scraped the wall, avoided contact from everybody as he spun around. Kyle Larson nearly collided with him, but everybody is okay. Brendan King, 93 WIBC.
You may not have 1,000 horsepower, but you're always racing, whether it's to work, to pick something up, or drop someone off. So go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're racing to, go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, on the northeast side, I-69 showed up this evening. We had 2 problems on southbound 69. First, we're stopped after 116th Street past 96 because of a crash that's blocking the right lane. That's a 12-minute delay. Add another 4 because of the stall right after that at 82nd Street. It's in the left lane. Northwest side crash, northbound 465 and I-865. It blocks the center lane, stops traffic to West 79th Street for a 16-minute delay. Inbound 65, stop and go, MLK to Meridian Penn, 9-minute delay. Eastbound 70 delay, 12 minutes from Tibbs Avenue into the South Split because of rush and an earlier stall. We look at northbound 65, that's slow. Raymond Street into the South Split because of construction. South side, eastbound 465, stop and go traffic after 31 over to Emerson Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
A slight 2 to 5 risk for severe weather in place from 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. tonight, with all hazards possible if storms fire off. Friday's threat is higher with a level 3 to 5 enhanced risk. Some significant severe weather is possible with highs in mid-80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
So, Jeff, you've been back in Indy for a couple of months now.
Yep.
Moved back from California. Have you become acclimated to dealing with the crazy weather yet?
I missed the crazy weather. I mean, growing up here, my whole life, you know how serious tornadoes are, and of course it affects people, but man, there is something about it when you get seasons here, and right now you never know really what's going to happen. I was talking Marcus Bailey earlier, the lightning strikes, and so we're thrilled with it. A little bit crazy. I will take tornadoes and thunderstorms over snow and ice covered roads any day of the week.
What about earthquakes, right? Because I feel like Midwest, we have tornadoes. Where you used to live, you have earthquakes.
Yeah, it's weird because I still feel like once in a while I'm like, did I just feel an earthquake? And then I'm like, of course I didn't. Earthquake, it's a different kind of thing. Earthquakes, you do get used to it. 22 years in Los Angeles, you get a little used to it, but not when they're big, because you just assume, oh, this is the big one. This will be the end of the world as we know it. These tornadoes, once they're coming in, but we had a tornado warning, what was it, 6 weeks ago up on the the Carmel right. Tornado. That got pretty crazy because I have one of those horns right by my place. And when you hear that go off, not at 11 a.m. as a test on Friday, when you hear that go off at 9:15 p.m., it's like, here we go. Let's see what happens.
We are keeping our eye on the weather tonight. Go back and hear the podcast that Marcus Bailey provided us when he joined us on the show earlier. Go to WIBC.com, the Hammer and Nigel section. Go to our podcast, and Marcus lays out what to expect tonight. Could see some hail, but it's mainly going to be some isolated stuff, predominantly more northern. But tomorrow, Fast Friday at the Speedway, around the time that starts wrapping up, we could also see another potentially bigger round of storms here in Central Indy.
Yeah, I looked at it. I don't want to toot my own horn again, but I did take one meteorology class at Indiana University, so I know what's going on.
You're kind of like this generation's Bob Gregory now.
A little bit. Yeah, thank you. Maybe a Chuck Lofton-ish, but, I see what's coming, and it's all about the occluded front. So we'll have people on tomorrow, they're professionals, but I'll be here too, so I can weigh in and people can choose who they listen to.
Meanwhile, over at CNN, they're finally asking questions about Joe Biden's cognitive decline. It only took 5 months of Donald Trump being the president before the questions about the previous president came out. Jake Tapper is shopping some miserable book out there where he's acting like, I can't believe the White House lied to us. They told us he was fine. You got two eyes, Jake. Could you not see him falling down all the time, crapping his pants, speaking gibberish? And now he's got some book out there blaming the Biden White House for the cover-up. So one of the big parts of the Biden campaign was Big Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan. She went on CNN last night and she was asked, hey, you were part of his campaign team. Did you take part in this cognitive cover-up? And you won't hear any music, Jeff, but listen how Gretchen dances around this.
You were a co-chair of the Biden-Harris campaign. You stuck with Biden until he dropped out of the race. Given your position in the campaign, what signs of decline did you notice?
I've not read the book.
I can tell you this, that as the book reports, cabinet members didn't have access, that tells you that, as a governor in a state, halfway across the country who was working her tail off, 160 stops on a bus tour that I headlined through swing states. I was busy working. I was busy doing the connection and the voter registration. And so
you
I
didn't
can't
see signs of
speak to
decline?
that directly.
So you didn't see any?
I didn't see the president frequently, and I can tell you I can't speak to that directly.
You saw him enough to tell all of us to vote for him, but now you're saying, oh, well, I wasn't around a whole lot.
Yeah, the pause, the little 4-second pause. It's everyone can relate to that. It's like one time, I guess I was maybe a freshman in high school. My parents went away, and I had to stay home because I was working or something. And they came back, and 3 of the Schlitz had been, were missing. And my dad's like, "Hey, what happened to the Schlitz?" 4-second pause.
4-second pause.
And then, well, here's the thing. And so we've all come up with things before when we know we're in trouble. That was Big Gretch right there.
That reminds me of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, where Spicoli and his buddies go into the All-American Burger and they take their shirts off, and Brad Hamilton comes up. Hey, what happened to your shirts? You guys had shirts on when you came in here. There's like a 4-second pause. Well, something happened to him, man.
Yeah,
that's what happened to those Schlitz cans. Something happened to him.
It's so weird with Jake Tapper because, there's going to be more people trying to profit off of being the whistleblower, I guess, the retro whistleblower. But Jake Tapper, every time I see him, all I think about is he's the kind of guy who's in a bar and he goes, "Touch me and I'll sue." He just seems like that kind of dude.
Right. But, man, this is the current trend. They're all going to act like we had no idea. How dare that Biden White House? We all knew from the moment he was sworn in that this dude was a few fries short of a Happy Meal, and it only got worse.
And it was 1 year ago today where Biden challenged Trump to a debate. 1 year ago today, he's like, "Bring it on." That did not turn out well for those who don't know.
Meanwhile, overseas, Bruce Springsteen, big liberal donor, supporter, he's doing some concerts in Europe. And imagine paying top dollar to hear your favorite Springsteen songs, and he breaks the show down and for 10 minutes craps all over America and Donald Trump.
They're removing residents off American streets and without due process of law are deporting them to foreign detention centers and prisons. This is all happening now. A majority of our elected representatives have failed to protect the American people from the abuses of an unfit president and a rogue government.
Not really a raucous crowd there.
Yeah, we've been talking about game shows a little bit today. We were talking about they're bringing back Star Search. We talked to the gentleman who was on the Fox Nation, Greg Gutfeld show. I just came up with a game show. Tell me what you think about this. Okay, there's a pit. There's a deep pit. And you put Bruce Springsteen and Robert De Niro in the pit with a malnourished bear. And contestants have to guess. Do they get out? Or who gets eaten first? Things like that. Would you watch? Let's say it's a game show network.
Yes, and we're going to call it Bared Straight, and we're going to see which one gets out, right?
I like it.
I'm in. I'm 100% in. Real quick, it was on this date. Back in 1941, Joe DiMaggio started his 56-game hitting streak. Jeff, I'm a baseball guy, coached baseball my whole life, played it. My son played it all the way up almost to the college level. I got to be honest, I think this is one of those records that will never be broken, because now anytime somebody gets to 20, let's say 20, which is amazing, the media pressure is intense. You've got specialty relievers that are designed to come into the ball game and get you only out. That didn't happen when Joe DiMaggio played. I just think the pressure is too intense. You are never going to see that again.
I agree, although you never know. Somebody could just go on a run. I think that one and the Cal Ripken, the Iron Man record seems kind of safe, I would guess. Although Cal Ripken, I believe they had to, wasn't there some something there with Kevin Costner and Cal Ripken's wife.
While he was breaking the record, there's an urban legend, and we don't know if it's true or not, that Mrs. Ripken was taking a trip on Yellowstone.
Oh, nice. Joe DiMaggio pulled Marilyn Monroe. That's kind of cool.
Right.
The guy did some work back then, but I would tend to agree with you. I think the pressure would become too much at this point.
More likely to happen. What's going to happen next? A 400 hitter in Major League Baseball, which we haven't seen since Ted Williams, or 56-game hitting streak broken.
400 hitter.
I think you're right. Somebody could have an amazing run, amazing season, even though these specialty relievers are designed to get you out now, just you only. Yeah, I mean, guys have been close. Pete Rose came close. George Brett came close. Different era. But that 56-game hitting streak, nobody's touching that bad boy. Not in this game. Matt Baer, what's up?
It's happening, fellas. Northbound 465 northwest side crash at 865 in the center lane, stopping traffic 279th. That is a 15-minute delay. Inbound 69 stopped after 116th Street, 282nd Street because of a crash. Looking at inbound 65, 8-minute delay. MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70, 10-minute delay. From Tibbs Avenue into the split south side, eastbound 465 slows before I-65 over to Emerson Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
86 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. We're getting closer and closer to that all-time record high. 88 is the all-time record high for this date. We're at 86 right now. Will we get there? Not quite sure. But what I do know is that coming up next, we're going to play America's fastest growing game sensation. Are you okay with this? Allison's going to host it next.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
So what's in the bag today? Yesterday's leftovers? Another lunch meat sandwich? Well, go ahead and pull up a rock and settle in for a half hour of I wish I was eating something else. Or you could be eating something else, or someplace else. If you're brown bagging it at the corner of 30th and Shadeland area, drop over to His Place Eatery for 30 minutes of why didn't I know about this place sooner? Nothing fancy, not a lot of frills. They save that for the quality of the meal. Like ribs that fall off the bone, southern fried chicken, sides that will cause your taste buds to thank you into tomorrow. Put that in your brown bag and eat it. Better yet, bank the bag. Go to His Place Eatery at the corner of 30th and Shadeland, or the newest location off 86th and Ditch Road. Your dirty boots and work clothes are welcome here. His Place, your place for lunch. Go to hisplaceeatery.com to learn more.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hey, this is Malia. We often get asked when is the best time to buy, and the answer is today, not tomorrow. With rising utility costs, rising product costs, and missed opportunity costs, which you could be saving with a high-efficiency system. Give us a call today to schedule your free in-depth estimate, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Millions of illegal aliens crossed our southern border under Biden administration policies. But now, things are changing. This is your Congressman, Jefferson Shreve. I'm committed to securing our borders and to protecting our Hoosier communities. I'm delivering for you. Because of Republican leadership, illegal border crossings are at an all-time low. I'm leading the charge to complete the southern border wall and deport illegal aliens. I'm fighting for Indiana and working for you in Congress.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Now through Monday, it's our tariff-free Made in the USA sale. Save 50% on Lazy Boy, Smith Brothers, and Flex Steel. Save up to $800 on mattresses, and we guarantee you the lowest price on Berlin Gardens and Hollywood Outdoor Furniture. Up to 4 years interest-free financing, extra discounts for cash, and free delivery. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more.
Miss M's annual open house is Saturday. Save 20% off everything in stock, excluding labor. Saturday only. Miss M's on State Road 135, south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Are you really okay with this? Are you okay?
Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
So normally, when Big Nige is here, he hosts this segment. I answer the questions. Nige is out, and I felt like it would be rude to just make Jeff do all the work here. You're a guest. So we're going to make Allison do the work. She is here all the time. It's about time she did something around here.
I've been getting bored.
Allison, you host this segment, and Jeff and I will answer.
Perfect. First one is Willie Nelson and Steve Perry did a cover of Journey's hit Faithfully, and all the proceeds from the song benefit Farm Aid, which is celebrating their 4th anniversary. And I believe we have a clip.
I get the joy of rediscovering you.
I know my answer.
Oh, girl. You stand by me.
God.
Is this real?
And I'm forever yours.
No.
I'm forever yours.
Faithfully.
I'm nervous to ask, but are you okay with this?
That's a negative, Ghost Rider. I am
really?
not okay with that. Look, if they can make money for farmers and charity, that's great. But let's not act like that doesn't sound like two drunk dudes on their 3rd divorce at karaoke night.
I gotta go with Hammer on this. You know what? When I saw the headline, you're rooting for it. You're like, oh, this could be something. But yeah, boy, first 5 bars, you're like, I'm out.
Yeah, no, that's not how I want to remember Willie Nelson. I want to remember Willie Nelson from his awesome line in Half Baked.
Man, I remember when a dime bag cost a dime. You know what I mean?
And I want to remember Willie Nelson when he just became a total shill to the advertising industry and was the voice of an entire 30-second Taco Bell commercial where he wrote a song.
He got off the bus at the border, went up, drove the woman with the rose tattoo. She offered him a ride, and when he got inside, she offered him something new.
Come on, clap your hands.
Steak burrito supreme from Taco Bell. She insisted that he try it. And a new zesty steak melt from Taco Bell. He had never had nothing like it. And when he tried the steak soft taco,
okay, I think we get the gist of what's going on here. The woman with the rose tattoo, great moments in Willie Nelson history.
Warner Brothers announced it's changing the streaming outlet Max, wait for it, back to HBO Max. Are you okay with this?
Jeff, I love this. I am okay with this. One, because some of us never stopped calling it HBO Max. It's still Twitter to me. It's still Deer Creek, and the Colts still play at the Dome. That being said, I imagine somebody got paid six figures in a marketing firm, and they said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get these idiots to change it to Max, and then we're going to come back a couple years later and do it again and get the same paycheck. Who's in? Who's with me? It was like Jerry Maguire leaving the office. And I feel like that's how it worked because consultant firms rip off people more than anybody.
I think seven figures. I think you sold it short. I guarantee that this went through, levels of testing. And what's great about it, at some point they said people are getting confused. People are being confused without HBO in it. And there's people on, one-way glass, and they're watching it going, they can't figure out HBO Max, shortened to Max. We should just go back to HBO, cash the check.
When did The Sopranos move to Cinemax? I don't understand. My head's about to explode. Ma'am, we're here to fix that. We're the consultants.
There's some guy from Omaha sitting there going, I just don't get it. Is it still HBO? And they're like, no, sir. Yes, it's HBO, but we shortened it to Max. Well, I don't see why.
I never stopped calling it HBO Max, even when I do voice on the remote, right? Because my wife goes to sleep every night watching Big Bang Theory old reruns on Max, HBO Max. And when I load it up, HBO Max.
I'll tell you the one thing I will never do is call it X. It's Twitter, ride or die.
Yep, I'm with you.
All right, according to a new study, the best summer travel destinations are Orlando at number 1, followed by Atlanta and Washington, D.C.
Good Lord.
But if you're looking for a budget vacation, apparently Tulsa, Oklahoma provides the lowest cost trip. Are we okay with this?
Did the descendants of Marion Barry all get asked questions for this survey? Where can I find the most cracking hookers? Orlando, Atlanta, and Washington, D.C. Good God. No, I'm not okay with this. This is the worst thing I've ever heard. Nobody ever says, all right, summer vacation time. Where do we want to go that's fun, that's family friendly? Oh, I know. The strip club capital of America, Atlanta. That's where we want to go. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get stuck in that god-awful traffic.
I spent 2 weeks in Atlanta during August once, and I was making my own soup by the end of it. It was disgusting. You can't even go outside. As for Orlando, are we sure this is summer destinations, specifically summer?
That's what it says. Best summer travel.
Dude. Go up to Mackinac Island, go maybe try, well, not Chicago because you'll get shot, but try Pacific Northwest, maybe try Rhode Island, but not Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm not mad at Orlando. Orlando, fine, I get it. There's Disney, there's activities, there's things to do, but Atlanta and Washington, D.C., one place that has the CNN headquarters, the other place that has the statue of Marion Barry. I'll pass. Coming up next, Rob Kendall off the rails right after we have a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Immigration raids, 23 people removed from the streets. Clouds right now, but no rain on radar. It's 85 downtown. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. Those raids were in Bloomington and Evansville, says FBI Indianapolis Special Agent in Charge Dominique Evans, who says many of the 23 had a history of violence, including one accused of stealing.
Another one also had multiple possessions of cocaine while operating a vehicle or appeared to resist an officer with violence as well. So these are people that are definitely violent offenders.
Child exploitation is why an Indy man is going to federal prison. Johnette Cruz reports.
23-year-old Melvin Anderson was sentenced today after pleading guilty to advertising and distributing child sexual abuse material. Prosecutors say Anderson ran multiple social media accounts on X and advertised links to cloud-based storage folders that contained over 600 videos of children under the age of 12 being abused. The U.S. Secret Service led the investigation. Anderson will also face 10 years of supervised release. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Police officers in memoriam.
Vice President Vance marked National Police Week with an address at the annual memorial service held by the Fraternal Order of Police. Vance praised officers who gave their lives to battle against criminals seeking to take control from everyday Americans
over their homes, over their neighborhoods and over their city streets. But none of that would be possible if we don't have a functional system of law or the means to enforce it.
Last month, President Trump took executive action to improve training, pay, and benefits for police officers, as well as providing surplus military assets for their use in combating crime. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, northwest side, we are stopped on northbound 465 from 79th up to 865 because of a crash. It's blocking the center lane, stopping traffic back to 79th Street, an 18-minute delay. Inbound 69, stop and go 116th Street down to 82nd. Inbound 65 slows from MLK to Meridian Penn. That's a 6-minute delay. Eastbound 70 delayed 7 minutes from Tibbs Avenue into the South Split. Crash west side, it's Morris at Lyndhurst. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week is Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Get 30% off all patio furniture. Wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
A slight 2 to 5 risk for severe weather in place from 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. tonight, with all hazards possible if storms fire off. Friday's threat is higher with a level 3 to 5 enhanced risk. Some significant severe weather is possible with highs in mid-80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
And now, Hammer and Nigel go off the rails with Rob Kendall.
Noise pollution.
Oh, yeah, baby. Every Thursday at this time, Rob Kendall kicks open the door, runs in the studio, rips off his shirt like Hulk Hogan, and goes off the rails. Rob, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks, as always, to our segment sponsor, Garage Doors of Indianapolis.
Got a number of places we could start, but we always like to start local with you. Nobody enjoys a good old-fashioned local government conversation like you do. Jefferson Shreve. Now, he is a congressional rep from Indiana, the Columbus area, kind of eastern Indiana, won the seat from Greg Pence in the last election.
You mean bought the seat from Greg Pence?
Bought the seat. This is the same Jefferson Shreve who has all the money in the world, and when he ran for the mayor of Indianapolis, people were excited. Oh, my God, this guy can spend dollar for dollar with the Democrat machine. Maybe he can beat Hogsett. But he put his faith in some of the oldest, most left out the pasture turds he could find to run his campaign, and they turned him into a gun grabber to where the Democrats didn't vote for him and the Republicans didn't vote for him either. This is the same dude, right?
Yeah, same guy, and now he's back in the news because of all this stock buy, sell stuff that he was doing as the Trump tariff stuff was beginning to take place. The economy was in great flux, and then he's even on one of these committees overseeing what some of these companies would be these buying stocks for. This is gross, and this is why.
This is Pelosi stuff we're talking about, right?
Totally. And you recognize that what these guys are doing in Congress, they write the law to exempt themselves. If you or I did it, we'd be featured on an episode of American Greed. Go directly to jail, insider trading, do not pass go, do not collect $200.
Hell, Martha Stewart was.
These guys do it with the info, right? They're in the Congress. They're in the Congress. They have all the information, and this is how all these people go in, regular folks. Now, Shreve is not. He's worth estimated $700 million. But they go in regular people, and they come out millionaires for a job that doesn't pay really anything based on where they live and the cost of living in the greater Washington, D.C. area. And this is how they do it. The game is rigged so they can enrich themselves at your expense.
And I know a lot of people think that I always pick on Jefferson Shreve. But, again, I live in Marion County, and I wanted to believe in that guy because you know how I feel about Boss Hogsett. But when he pulled that crap after the primary, by the way, he didn't say it during or before the primary. After the primary, he became a leftist gun grabber. That was his policy. His basically stance on crime was, look how awesome Joe Hogsett is. He didn't grill him on where he was at in the riots. So that's why I've always taken this dude with a grain of salt. Do you think at any point he regrets the people that worked on his campaign.
No, because he bought a congressional seat. If you think about the reality is Marion County's so blue now that you could have put Greg Ballard back up there or whoever. They weren't going to beat probably Hogsett. So what's he do?
And that's a shame because let's be honest. Look at Joe. He's a dumpster fire. An absolute dumpster fire of not only just a mayor, but of a man.
But how many people are like you and your family and are willing to stay and fight? Most people have gotten the heck out of Marion County. They've left. They fled. It's a blue county. It's a blue city. So what Shreve did, which is very smart, he essentially campaigned for 2 years for this seat because the way his district is structured, which is the eastern portion of the state, part of it snakes up into Marion County. He overwhelmingly won the Marion County area, which is the population center. Enough of the people in the rest of the state are seeing his ads. They're not paying attention to the horrible job he did running for mayor of Indianapolis. And he wins the seat. I mean, you put it all in. I don't know what he spent, $20 million total, maybe collectively. Well, for guys worth $700 million. And look at what he's making in stock trading. Actually, probably going to end up being a pretty good investment on his part.
And the thing is, Rob, nothing's going to happen to these people. You can tell me all you want that Josh Hawley's going to roll out this Pelosi Act in the Senate. And now there's another rep that's rolling out a House version to prevent this kind of stuff. Yes, it should be done, but are we really going to believe that these rich people are going to vote on laws to take their own money away?
Yeah, you should not be. If you're going to serve in the U.S. House, the U.S. Senate, you should be, from the moment you get there, unable to trade stocks, unable to sell whatever your portfolio is. Hey, if those stocks go up while you're there, great. If they go down, sorry about you.
I'll allow a 401k. Like, if you want to have a 401k, I'm fine with that. But, man, you can't be wheeling and dealing stuff you've got inside information on. Because, again, the most high-profile example, Martha freaking Stewart did that, and they put her in federal prison.
And one of the things why our country was so great at the founding is you had these incredible business people and farmers and accomplished citizens, lawyers, etc., who went to Washington, D.C. out of a sense of obligation. They actually lost money while they were there because they couldn't tend to their farms or their businesses or their law practices. So their goal was to get out of there as fast as possible. That's why you didn't have career politicians. My job is to serve. My job is to go out of obligation, do the job to the best of my ability, and get out of there. You didn't have career politicians. Now, people like Shreve, and you know what's gross about Shreve? He is really just a gross human being, is he's so rich. What difference does a few $1 million make either way? They estimate we're $700 million, and you need a few million here or there. It's because they can do it. It's grandiose. It's excess, and they do it because they can, and they do it at your expense.
Last thing on Shreve here, and I bring up the question earlier of regret for his previous staff, because I have heard, now you've got more local government sources than I have, but I have heard that that's the biggest regret Jefferson Shreve had was as a political newbie, he trusted these people that worked on his campaign where the game had passed them by years ago. Do you buy any of that?
Yeah, but we're led to believe the guy has good enough instincts and business sense that he can become worth $700 million, but he doesn't have enough sense to realize, hey, that gun-grabbing proposal is probably going to piss off my base and make a bunch of people not want to vote for me.
The people that lost with Lugar in Indiana might be wrong about something?
Yeah, I don't buy that. I think Shreve is a wimp. Shrimp, that's his new name. Shreve the Wimp. He's the shrimp. The shrimp. The shrimp. That's a new name for the Kendall Casey show. His nickname will be Shrimp.
Shreve the Shrimp. I love it. I think that's perfect. That is so on brand.
Yeah, and that's who he is, man. He's a total wimp, and he's a loser and a complete scumbag.
Going off the rails with Rob Kendall. Again, keeping it in your wheelhouse of local government. I understand that you and Governor Braun are not playing cornhole this weekend. I don't believe he's invited you over to watch qualifications or the PGA Championship.
Well, I've declared him a man suffering from mental decline, and he may be a victim of elder abuse. So at this point, I don't think he's very happy with me.
So I get all that, but I will say he made the right decision in coming out saying, yeah, we're not granting any sort of clemency or stay of execution to cop killer Benjamin Ritchie.
Yeah, we talked with Nikki Kelly about this earlier today. He didn't really have a choice on this, nor did the parole board. Now, I think you and I agree. I think you're going to start seeing the parole board maybe get a little squirrely on some of these future executions, but there was no way, given not only that the guy killed a police officer, but he put the badge number on his neck, right?
And called the grieving widow at the sentencing the B word and laughed at her.
Yeah, this guy, and he was on TV. He was on those MSNBC shows.
Right.
This guy was totally unsympathetic. There's no way they were going to let this guy go. That was in the terms of who we're going to execute, basically a freebie, right? Now it'll get interesting because if you get some of these people that maybe come off as a little more sympathetic, still did heinous things, which they should probably be executed for, how are they going to judge these people going forward?
I really thought that the parole board was going to do something stupid here.
Really?
Because we've seen around the country, right? An MS-13 gang member who beats his wife becomes a sympathetic figure to certain people. And then whether you're a judge or a member of the parole board, you put your views out there over what's right. And just from all the things that I heard that scumbag say in court, I can better serve the rest of my life in jail telling people don't do what I did. I thought they would buy that crap. Now, again, that's why I was so interested in the way Governor Braun was going to view this, because it's his decision. Because as the parole board, we can say, hey, do this or do that. And then as the governor, I can take that review, wipe my butt with it, and throw it away. But the parole board did the right thing and said, yeah, we're not granting any clemency to this clown.
Well, if Braun actually has an IQ over 7, he knows how much he's pissed off his base, and there's nothing that would make people even more enraged than letting a cop killer not face the death penalty. Now, what's interesting is when Mitch Daniels was governor, I think he went in reverse. The parole board said, execute the guy, and he was like, nah, I'm going to give him clemency. So the governors do go against parole boards. It happens all the time, and it will be interesting now with the death penalty becoming more common again with this drug being available, how Braun judges it going forward.
When I become the governor, or when Chris Hammer becomes the governor, get ready for pay-per-view.
I love it.
I'm just saying.
Why is there not, you've said this for years, and I think this is brilliant, Hammer. Why is there not a pay-per-view of these executions with the money, half of it going to the state to pay for the execution, the other half going to the victims' families?
You sound like me on my Shark Tank pitch that I've done for years. My execution channel is a good idea. Everybody can act like it's gross and it's disgusting. No. I guarantee you we would get numbers, we'd raise a lot of money, and we help the family of those affected.
There is no downside by making some revenue off these scumbags who have had their day in court and all their appeals and everything else getting the justice they deserve.
Come back for one more
Let's
segment.
do it, yes.
We are going off the rails with Rob Kendall. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group. But before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. And when Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. Every pre-owned Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, Tundra, every car, every truck, everything in the showroom, everything on the lot. Need credit? Managers will be on site, accepting applications for immediate review. Plus, Hubler's got you covered. Every Q-certified vehicle includes our 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota, everything goes. It's your chance to save like never before. Don't miss it. When Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. On US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. Before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Hammer and Nigel here for our friends at American Standard Heating and Air. They're built to a higher standard. And what separates them from the competition, what makes them the best in the heating and air game, is the awesome local independent dealers that they work with. Like Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning in Pittsburgh. Kirby, they've been in the business well over 3 decades. Lloyd and Jessica Kirby, they're the founders of this great family-run business, and now their sons, Robert and Adam, they're the ones carrying on the tradition of excellent service and pride in their work. Kirby, hooking up Hendricks and the surrounding counties. The reason they choose to install American Standard? Simple. It's quality. Make sure that AC unit is good to go for the hot weather. Contact Kirby at 317-892-3614 or go to kirbyheating.com. 892-3614. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep Central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Since we opened our doors, UC Bank has been committed to the communities we call home. Building financial wellness, UC is proud to offer customized lending strategies and innovative resources to our vibrant communities. UC Bank, building community one family, one street, one city at a time. Member FDIC.
Don't stress about plumbing repairs. Call LD Smith for honest advice and a free second opinion on any estimate.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with national LTE coverage. Go to rapidradios.com and you'll get up to 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO for an additional 5% off.
Race into Pierce Jewelers in Carmel and make a pit stop to purchase that unique diamond engagement ring that will put you in the winner's circle. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
The Home and Garden Show is on the road this Saturday. They'll be broadcasting live from 9 to 1 at Miss M's Home and Garden Spring Open House in Bargersville. Enjoy the Pearl Coffee Company, Mallow Run Winery, and Chomp's Food Truck. There'll be door prizes, giveaways, and more.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, we're out by the airport, and this is on the camera. It's looking at eastbound 70 towards Indianapolis, 2465-74. And right now, that exit ramp is barely moving here at the moment, so it is backing up right now. We have a delay as you make your way down eastbound 70 in that collector, 2465. More to come at WIBC traffic. Inbound 65 delayed 6 minutes, MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 74-minute delay from Harding into the South Split. Crash on the east side. It's 38th Street east of 465. And on the northwest side, crash northbound 465 at I-865. It's blocking the center lane and stopping traffic to West 79th Street for a 21-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture. Wicker, Berlin Gardens Poly, Castle Aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
85 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC. Back with Rob Kendall of the #1 rated Kendall and Casey show, 9 to noon here at 93 WIBC. Is it me or like Donald Trump going over to the Middle East? It feels like this is a prime Van Halen tour. Like, this dude's going overseas. They're giving him planes. They're giving him standing ovations. They're giving him money. Like, I promise you, Donald Trump probably has a writer list that says no green M&Ms in my hotel or I'm going to trash the joint. It's like Van Halen. He's like a rock star over there.
Well, look, he's a big presence, right? And we know as places like Saudi Arabia have sought approval of the West, which they have, they want to engage in commerce and commercial activity. They're going to view him as larger than life. They know about the TV show. They see him as bigger. He's actually been Donald Trump's been best on foreign policy. His foreign policy and peace through strength and keeping us out of foreign wars.
And you don't realize how good it is until you witness what took place the last 4 years.
You're right. 100%. That is as good as he's been on the border. I think the foreign policy stuff has been what he's best at. I do have a challenge for the president, though, on this foreign policy tour. Are you ready for this?
Bring it.
Now, the New York Post, Daily Mail, others reported yesterday, they believe, heat sensors believe they have found Noah's Ark. Did you see this?
No.
The Noah's Ark, they believe now, based on the size of it's in essentially a volcano.
This isn't that theme park in Kentucky.
No. This is the real thing. This is exactly where the Bible said Noah's Ark was located at. It looks and appears exactly based on the heat sensors, exactly as the Bible described Noah's Ark. There is real belief that we have found Noah's Ark, and it is essentially in a volcano in Turkey near the Iranian border. Here's what I need Trump to do as part of any Iran nuclear deal or Middle East peace agreement. We have to have inter-country cooperation to be able to And this will take decades to do, which is why everybody's got to be on board in order for this to happen. Because can you imagine going to Iran and Turkey and going, I'd like to do some Christian archaeological digs, please. I don't think that's going to work. We got to have intergovernmental cooperation that we can go into this essentially mountain, volcano, whatever you want to call it, and find out if Noah's Ark is buried in there.
So what happens if you spend all these millions of dollars, possibly $1 billion, you get down there, sorry, it was just a rock.
Well,
it was a rock in a volcano.
Look, the people thought Geraldo was done after Capone's vault, and he was never more popular. Don't sell yourself short.
We have got a new sports betting podcast that's out right now. You are the golf betting guy in the PGA Championship. It's underway right now. You made your plays before this tournament started. Where does the PGA Championship rank on the hierarchy of majors?
It's the least. And they're playing it at this Quail Hollow course this year, which part of the fun of the majors is you play at a course you don't get to see but every 7 or 8 years. They're playing at a course they play at every year. Look, here's the thing. We just got to get past the PGA to get to the U.S. Open. This year it's at Oakmont. Oakmont is a brutal course, 6-inch rough, 15 on the stent meter greens. Men may lose their lives at Oakmont this year. It'll be like storming the hill at Iwo Jima. Let's just get through the PGA and on to the U.S. Open.
Narrator.
It's nothing like storming the beaches at Iwo Jima.
Special thanks to
Garage Doors of Indianapolis. You guys are the best. Thank you.
He is off the rails. That's Rob Kendall. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hammer and Nigel here for Bill Demery, your retirement guy. He's our retirement guy. He works with Nige, he works with me, and the reason we like Bill is he explains things in a way you can understand. Let's be honest, when you're talking finance, when you're talking about the market, when you're talking about stocks and 401k, it can be kind of confusing and intimidating. This is where Bill Demery comes in. And also, if you invest $200,000 or more, you have a chance to get a 20% upfront bonus on your deposit, plus a return that's averaged 7% a year for the past 10 years. And your money is backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world. Bill Demery takes every precaution to take care of you and your money. Set up a free consultation. 317-648-5120. That's 648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 317-648-5120.
Have you seen all the patio furniture at Sullivan Hardware and Garden? Check the specials on all of our patio furniture just in time for Memorial Day. Like all-weather wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. We specialize in excellent quality, mid-priced patio furniture that's in stock at our 37,000 square foot warehouse. All sale priced at 30% off. You can even choose your own custom cushions on most sets. Get ready for Memorial Day. Come see our wide selection of hanging baskets, bedding plants, perennials, and much more. With so many colors and varieties, it's the best-looking selection you'll find anywhere. Looking for a new grill? See our full selection of Weber, Traeger, and the Big Green Egg. Shop, play, experience. Spring with Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers. Online at sullivanhardware.com.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
It's the Bash Sale, the biggest automotive sale in history. Your local Bill Estes dealerships are coming in hot with deals on trucks you don't want to miss. We have a huge selection of trucks at one easy online stop. Brand new Chevy, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota trucks with a massive pre-owned selection too. Plus, our fair and direct upfront pricing means what you see is what you pay. Shift into savings during the Bash Sale, only at Bill Estes dealerships, and drive away in your dream truck today. Online at BillEstesTrucks.com.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun, brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show.
When retirement comes about, we're now relying on what we have saved to meet those needs.
Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping us to another record year. We recently saved a 62-year-old retiring couple over $800 monthly when compared to their COBRA offerings. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 monthly when compared to their $7,500 deductible program on the ACA, and you know that's still Obamacare. We recently saved a small 4-man manufacturing company over $1,000 monthly and gave them better coverage. We feature coverages guaranteed to age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. If you are retiring early, self-employed, or need coverage for your small group, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. What do you got to lose? Call us 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. As always, God bless America, common sense government, and peace too strict.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Marek Mazurek. Surge Development LLC is pulling the plug for now on plans for a massive 775-acre data center complex in rural Hancock County. The quote mega site would have been located roughly between the Indianapolis Regional Airport and Tuttle Orchards along County Road North 400 West. The Shelbyville-based developer didn't have an end user signed on, but hoped the project would attract any number of large companies. Surge principal Chris King put out a written statement saying he is withdrawing his rezoning requests for now, but he hopes to rework the proposal with more specifics. Opposition to the data center project coalesced around Tuttle Orchards, which has been in business in the area for nearly 100 years. As planned, the data center would have gone in on the western edge of the farm's property. At an informational meeting for the project on May 8th, Tuttle Orchards co-owner Mike Rooney said, quote, "We believe that rezoning this large area of ground to industrial for data center uses with such a broad and unspecific plan poses a significant risk of adverse effects on Tuttle Orchards' ability to continue to exist and provide the experience and products customers want." From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress, from the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, invest in connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures. Visit elevateventures.com.
The chief financial officer of Batesville-based Hillenbrand Inc. will step down from his role at the end of June, the manufacturer announced Thursday. Bob Van Himbergen has served as senior vice president and CFO since April of 2022. Prior to joining Hillenbrand, he spent 15 years at Johnson Controls in various roles, including vice president and corporate controller. Hillenbrand said Von Himbergen has decided to take another position outside the company, but didn't specify what his new role will be. Hillenbrand has named Megan Walke as its interim CFO. The company will begin a search for Van Himbergen's successor. I'm Marek Mazurek for 93 WIBC.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
It could be blocked. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. The Supreme Court has heard arguments over the legality of President Trump's executive order that ends birthright citizenship.
Before justices heard a bit about the merits of the order, they first considered at length whether lower court judges can issue nationwide injunctions. In other words, stop something from taking effect, as was done here, while the issues play out in court. And justices, including Elena Kagan, were concerned about the way some district courts have acted.
Because of the forum selection process, a party goes to one place. You know, in the first Trump administration, it was all done in San Francisco. And then in the next administration, it was all done in Texas. Right. And there is a big problem that is created by that mechanism.
Some of the justices, including Kagan, grew frustrated with the U.S. Solicitor General John Sauer's argument that if people want a broad decision, they should seek class action status.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. President Trump in the final planned stop of his Middle East trip in the UAE, where he said the U.S. and Iran have sort of agreed to terms for a nuclear deal.
They're not going to make, I call it in a friendly way, nuclear dust. We're not going to be making any nuclear dust in Iran.
The president said talks are continuing to progress and said the negotiations are very serious. And the president teased he was leaving tomorrow, destination unknown, as there is still hope for a breakthrough in peace talks between Ukraine and Russia and Turkey. Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
The only one who can break this logjam at this point, if it can be broken, is President Trump. He just wants to end the war. He doesn't care who gets the credit for it. He doesn't care who went first. He wants the war to end.
Russian President Vladimir Putin is not attending the talks. A Russian delegation is in Istanbul, and Ukraine's President Zelensky said he's sending a delegation to meet with them. Wall Street ended the day mixed. The Dow gained 271. The Nasdaq lost 34. The S&P plus 24, climbing for a fourth day. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
An apology for a video that may be unnecessary. Nothing doing as far as rain or thunderstorm activity at the moment, but we are keeping an eye on it because of the threat for severe weather. That's mostly this evening and overnight, and then Friday, too. It's 87 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 6:02. The Indianapolis Colts are apologizing for a video they posted Wednesday night. John Herrick explains why.
The Colts open this upcoming regular season against the Miami Dolphins September 7th. For their schedule release video, they went with a Minecraft theme and took some playful jabs at their opponents. And that video showed Hill as a dolphin swimming in the water, only to be stopped by the Coast Guard, who was using a siren. Hill was arrested in a traffic stop last year. The Colts said the video